What up, Vigilantes? Hope everyone's doing well today. Hanging out. I see Pav in the house, Cuz in the house, Chase in the house. I see Yes Chads in the house. Been hearing a lot about these Yes Chads. So it's the middle of the day, and just want to hang out with you guys. Chase, you want to jump up? You want to hang out? Pav, you want to hang up? Jump up. So we're one day away from the TCV Ordinals Summit. And yeah, this crypto world is getting more and more insane. I'm hearing that they're out there trying to hack your dopamine receptors, guys.
What?
What up, Chase? How you doing today?
I'm doing great, man. How are you? It's an honor to speak.
Dude, an honor for us to have you here. How have you been?
Oh, I'm doing great, man. I'm just enjoying the apocalypse, just like everybody else.
But you gotta have fun, you know what I'm saying? You can't just focus on the negativity, you feel me?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I'd like to hear more about that. You're saying they're hacking our dopamine receptors.
Yeah, so I don't know. Did you read the last newsletter for Crypto Vigilante?
No, I'm only under the dollar right now, dollar vigilante. But do I follow pretty much you and Jeff? Like the video wise, like YouTube, BitChute, Rumble.
Right on. Yeah, man. So pretty much what's happening is that we are moving into a world where your attention is what matters most. Actually, that's where we're at right now. But now it's becoming more and more gamified. How do you feel about that, Chase?
Yeah, so I feel like the word that you chose, gamified, is kind of interesting because a lot of people, they don't realize their time is wealth. And it's kind of like spending credits in a game, you know what I mean? To unlock the new unlockable abilities and such. So definitely kind of an interesting time. A lot of people's priorities, you know, they're spending them to get that dopamine hit, and then they don't get leveled down to that base level, and they're just stuck. They're stuck there, and they're trying to get that same hit.
And it's not like it's not even a question of morality anymore. It's just a reality we have to put up with, right? Whether you want to accept it or not, it's part of your existence now. That there are people cooking right now all over the internet on how to get your attention, on how to monetize your attention more and more every day. That's what this thing has turned into. So there are very good cooks out there, people that are creating real good crypto initiatives that are trying to hack your dopamine receptors by creating more dopamine hits that lead you into being more virtuous and into being more wholesome. How do you feel about that?
That sounds like something, a direction that we need to go into. Like I know you talked about a lot of DeFi stuff before. I think that's some big opportunities coming up, especially in this space that we're in right now.
Yeah, for sure, man. I mean, it's every day that happens now is a day that you have to be open to a brand new possibility that could change everything in your life. And you can either ignore this or you can embrace it and even profit.
Yeah, definitely. Lots of people are not going to be able to see that perspective that you just shared because they don't want to. They don't want to take the risk. They don't want to take the chance, man. They don't want to feel the uncomfortable.
And there's a lot of people in crypto that to this day they still hold on to like mindsets of a year ago, 2 years ago. And for this space, it's actually those are mindsets that are antiquated. Like if you are still just holding on strong to your favorite cryptocurrency and you have no time to even think or consider any other crypto network, I think your mind is in the nursing home. Like for real. Like at that point when you're not open to other possibilities or other perspectives or other paradigms of seeing what crypto is capable of, then at that moment you've put your mind in a nursing home and you've not allowed your mind to expand more. Everyone has their own, like every person is different, right? Every person lives in a different place, they have different circumstances of life, and so when they come to crypto they see a bunch of tools available to them, and then they right away they gravitate towards the tool that they personally think is best. But in reality, what they're not realizing is that in reality they're talking about what's best for them, and they make the mistake of trying to like impose that on everyone. I'll give you the classical example, guys. The classical example that I deal with all the time is people who are very much privacy enthusiasts. But privacy is something that everyone needs. Everyone needs privacy in their life, right? But there are people with different privacy needs. Like if you live in a very awesome place on the planet where there's no tyranny, where your privacy needs are not going to be the same as someone living under a complete tyrannical dictatorship. You understand what I mean? So it's like,
Oh yeah, 100%. And to pick up from there, I mean, people are just Bitcoin this, Bitcoin that, or Ethereum this, Ethereum's going to do everything. I mean, we need some new building blocks, and we need to expand our consciousness here and get into some new spaces, and that's how things evolve, really. We need new spaces, new environments, and this isn't even integrated into our full 3D world yet. This is all just in our screen right in front of us. You've come up with some amazing examples of where we can really bring it into the world that we're living. I'd like to hear more on that if you can.
well, I think the first step is to realize that after your Maslow hierarchy of needs, after the lower ones are met and they are satiated, human persons tend to like have other needs, right? We're not just animals with instincts. Like we have a need for fun, we have a need for like knowledge, we have a need to better remember things, right? History, right? That's why the blockchain is so important, right? Like so it's so in order to like apprehend and really embrace everything that crypto has to offer, um I think we need to stop being so serious. I had a professor, someone that I admire very much, an intellectual, say to me once. He said, "There's nothing worse than a serious intellectual. Like you really need to embrace fun. You really need to embrace playfulness." And I think that um, one of the coolest things that we've seen in crypto is the playfulness of it all. Right? Just look at this. Just look at the space right here. You see a bunch of cartoons, right? You see that? It's almost like in the traditional business world, the boomer corporate world, you're measured by your accolades, by your degrees, by your position, by the letters after your name, and you want to dress up to impress. You're wearing a business suit, a tie, and just look at the crypto world, dude. We're all wearing cartoons, like literally, and we're making more money than anyone in the legacy financial system. So I mean it's beautiful, dude. It's a mocking of that world. It's a laughing of that world. It's a putting your finger, pointing your finger and saying, ha ha ha, we're not slaves anymore. We're having fun, right? So if you ever come across anyone in crypto that is like, oh, dude, look, they're all cartoons. Oh, look, like, that person's still in a boomer slave mindset. Like whenever I see someone wearing ties, whenever I see someone, you know, holding on to like, oh, I'm an engineer, I'm a doctor, I'm an attorney, and having their whole being um, defined by this psychological persona of what they do for fiat, which is like the worst type of currency.
Yeah,
I'm
man,
looking at a
hilarious.
slave, bro. I'm looking at a slave. I straight up, and so it's fun, dude, that we come to crypto, right? And people are discovering this space, and oh my god, we have complete freedom to be creative, to be like children again, where we can engage, right, in this world. So I
Yeah.
made a parallel. Yeah, you're saying, Chase, what's up?
Uh, that was just a great example. It's like we're kids again, and I think that's good with the. I don't know if you've ever heard of the analogy of the coffee table, but when you tell a kid, "Hey, that's a coffee table. You can't jump on that." It's like you're basically destroying anything in their mind being able to create their own reality, because you're programming their subconscious. Your subconscious is so open through ages 1 to 7 to shape their own reality. And I mean, if we can get this in from the ground level, like you said, man, we're all these new people come in this new space, cartoons, stuff like that. It's like you're going to be able to open up a whole new reality and shift in a new, not particularly digital age, but we're going to be aided by the technology that we have already integrated into our lives. I mean, we're so reliant on this stuff. And even the boomers, like you said, the doctors, the lawyers, they're like, oh my gosh, you know, I'm slaving for the rest of my life at this hospital so I can live in a 6-bedroom house with, my wife and kids. Well, I mean, dude, you're not even bringing any creative to the table. It's all logic, and on top of that, the computer's already thinking for you. So
Yeah, man, we're really changing the way people even perceive themselves, right? We're moving into
absolutely.
a completely different world where, like Eric Voorhees said yesterday on his speech at that permissionless conference. He said something very beautiful, right? People will say that crypto is this place where there is no structure, where there's chaos, dude. And he said, no, that's wrong. Actually, this is where there's most structure. This is where there's most fairness, because we don't trust the sloppiness. I'm like paraphrasing him, the sloppiness of politicians and government dictates. We are trusting math, and I think that is extremely valuable. I really, really, really love that. Shwank, how
Numbers
are
don't
you?
lie, people do.
Exactly. And so when you now have this layer of trust, right, that is also a layer of equity, right? Because we're leaving a place like, this is the world we're leaving. We're leaving a place that's you can't trust anyone. Like, no one here would say that like Joe Biden is a hallmark of excellence and you want to be like him, or no one here is saying that they want to, you know what I mean? No one in the world thinks of like any politician as like, oh my God, that's a person I want to aspire to be, or someone that I trust, right? So we're leaving a place of trustlessness into a world of trust, and we're coming into an age where we're leaving debt behind. So all of that sloppiness and lack of organization, coupled with the fact that it's debt based, where everything is debt based, even the way people act and react, dude. I was talking like, the more in debt a country is, and the more where you have like, it was a sad realization that I had a couple months back. It's like an equation, right? Strong tyrannical government plus debt equals children not playing outside. Think about it. If you have a debt-based economy with a strong tyrannical legal system, lawsuits are in every corner, right? What happens in a neighborhood where everyone's now scared because they're living, you know, you know, pretty much in poverty from paycheck to paycheck, and you have to make sure that the person next to you is not going to sue you. You protect yourself, and that leaves people to literally live in very isolated lives to the point that we don't even have children playing outside anymore. You understand what I'm saying? It's that deep. Like
Yeah,
the
man.
debt-based layer will move people to keep their children from playing with other children because maybe if an accident happens, like Lord forbid, let's not get into some lawsuit because everyone's living over leverage. Everyone is is trying to figure out how to live off else, in a debt-based society, because in reality that's what it is. In a debt-based system, you have the phenomenon that where when the money is printed and as it falls into the masses, by the time it reaches someone on a fixed income, their purchasing power has decreased, and their fixed income is in reality not proportional to the overall state of the economy. So we're leaving that behind, right? It's like we left that behind in crypto. We're in an equity system now, in a system of trust. So it really does change who we are as human beings. It really changes the way we act and react. And it's almost like the more that I get involved in crypto, the more I realize that it is turning the world into a very happy place.
Well, I mean, you almost know where the debt system started with the Templar Knights, and we know that they worship Baphomet. They didn't worship the actual God that they claimed to in the Bible. So, this debt-based system has never had a positive humility, which is what we should really be going for. Especially, I mean, today, nowadays, I mean, more than ever. I mean, of course, there's going to be this polarity. They're so evil. I mean, depending on your perspective, the people with the money to right now, but we can flip the switch real quick, and we're kind of laughing in their face as they put out all these regulations, and they're like, "Fuck, they got private coins. We can't see what they're doing. We need to destroy the economy quick and get everybody on board so we can track what's going on because we're losing money." And they are. I mean, I like how you brought up everybody's going to be suing each other because I heard the other day, the only way out of the situation we're in right now is lawsuits. And I'm kind of curious on your perspective about that. Do you think there's going to be a lot of trials coming up? And do you think the U.S. court system is actually going to be just? I mean, that's kind of a laugh, but
So I'll give you an example, dude. So there is a mathematical in the slowest of crypto networks. There is a mathematical quote unquote judicial system that happens every 10 minutes, and the entire planet comes to consensus via Bitcoin miners every 10 minutes. There's literally, we call it literally a little hash war that happens every 10 minutes. Miners are racing and competing and verifying their transactions, right? So that's a very efficient system, right? Now imagine compare that system to the system that we have now, where the law is something that like, dude, it just takes for freaking ever, dude. So it's a system. The system that we're leaving behind is just there's no arguing. It's just inefficient in comparison to what Satoshi gave us. Period. And
absolutely agreed.
there's nothing in this world more efficient than proof of work. So if you follow that logically, then the logical conclusion is there is nothing more efficient than proof of work. Cool. Then the following question is there anything that government does that is more efficient than proof of work?
I
That
don't believe so.
that has to be answered. And the true answer is no. There's nothing that government does that is more efficient than proof of work. So we can very much move into a world where everything that government does is provided for via proof of work. Schwank, you have an opinion? We don't have to agree.
I mean, I agree to the extent that as far as I can throw it, I guess. I mean, I think the government is a cancer on the earth, I think that voluntary interaction is the way, and it seems like proof of work and the blockchain is a way to align human incentives so that new types of thinking and new ways of connecting in society can happen. I don't. There seems to be this like attitude. Sometimes I'm not saying you or whatever, but I'll encounter every once in a while that's like, all right, in the bag, we got it. And so since this technology is out there, eventually this is an inevitable foregone conclusion. And maybe it is, maybe it isn't, but like the timing of this and how that's like going to be relevant for like our lives and like our children's lives is not, in my mind, in the bag. And I think of like other great technological advancements that would have made the world a much better place that are not widespread and is not used and is not, you know, widely understood and whatever, despite the fact that that technology is available. And so I think that there's a war going on, and that it's a psychological war, and it's a how are we going to think and what are we going to think about, and that it's, yes, there's bombs being dropped and, you know, governments and statists are going to state, and that stuff is happening. But primarily, I think we're in the middle of it's not being called World War III, but it is a really intense psychological battle. And, you know, for how long has people like Alex Jones have been calling it, you know, the InfoWars, right? Was that site back in the day? It's probably still a site. Haven't been visiting that, but like, you know, he was right. And the people that talk about this are right, that this is what's going on. And so like waking up to it is step one, but then like getting your mind out of that old way of thinking that really has been contorted and manipulated by fiat and by this, it's demonic, it's evil, it's this way of infiltrating all human interaction because we're always exchanging value and communicating value, and people don't even realize how it's contorted their thinking and how it's messed up their relations with others. You know, you were mentioning that like kids aren't like even going outside, you know, anymore because they're like, people are so afraid and don't feel safe and whatever. And this is a symptom of what's happened to the money and how the government has overstepped everything in every way and is in everybody's business. I mean, this is, and blockchain offers some kind of hope for a better world in the future, that there is a better way for us to be interacting. There's a better way for us to have a sound money so that when we communicate with value, it can offer proper alignment to the way humans are designed to interact, which is to wish each other well, to interact in ways that we both come out better. This doesn't have to be a big pie where we just got to get our piece, and if you don't get your piece, that's it. But that's the way they kind of make the world seem. But it's gaslighting because they're just printing money, you know, and to their friends. Anyway, that's my little ramble. I'm just cleaning my studio here. I've been trying to get this IRL project done and put together some stuff to share with folks and whatever. But I saw you all were hanging out, and that's my little ramble and 2 cents on what you were just talking about.
That's awesome, Shrunk. Yeah, dude, like before Bitcoin, like my friends and I would talk about like future solutions, and we literally, the answer was always like, dude, we just have to trust human creativity. We have to trust human creativity. And lo and behold, look at Bitcoin. It appeared out of nowhere. And look at what has happened since 2009. Before then, we were just like, well, okay, well, sound money, gold and silver sounds good. Man, what else can we do, right? We never expected Bitcoin to become or even to exist. And look at where we're at now. So like, at this moment in time, I think it's really impractical and unwise to bet against human creativity because everyone's becoming more and more creative. Like what crypto did is that it gave us back our freedom in many ways, and it made everyone more responsible. Almost it hacked human incentives where you as an individual, yeah, you might, you hear about this crypto stuff, you dabble in it. And then when you really understand that, you're like, wait a minute, I am my own bank. What does that mean? Okay, well, that means I need to be responsible. How does this work? I need to take personal responsibility of my money. Okay, well, then I need to figure this out because I don't want to trust anyone. Oh my God, this is amazing. And so we've already gone through that. Like the vast majority of people in crypto have already understand that fully. They've already internalized what it means to be responsible as a crypto investor, as someone that is part of this equity layer, this equity trustless layer. Now it's almost like crypto's now, okay, now that we feel safe in this space, let's embrace creativity. And you're seeing this all over in crypto. You're seeing this, and like I said, like look, everyone's like a child now. Like we don't care for like, oh, how does my resume, my CV? No, look, we have a bunch of cartoons here having fun, and all of these cartoons are probably making more money in crypto than all of these boomers working on Wall Street. And why is that? Because we have a better system all around. So this world of creativity is now it's growing in everywhere, where now people are like, okay, it's not enough just to be responsible. Now I get to embrace my creativity. So it's a yin yang, right? Complete sovereignty, where I'm completely responsible for my money, for my actions, where no one's going to come save me. There is no FDIC insurance. No, there is me, and understanding how this works, complete responsibility. That gives you a lot of freedom. And then the next step now is like, okay, now let's create. And we're moving into a world where everyone's invited to be a creator, a participant, in a way that is frictionless and permissionless. So, Shwank, you're an artist, and if you guys, anyone here, you guys should go on his Twitter. Your art is pretty badass, bro. What do you as an artist? What you're like? I was talking to my buddy yesterday, and artists are like one of the they're very special people, because in spite of 12 years of government indoctrination plus, they were able to still hold on to that creativity aspect of who they are. Most people on the planet have that ripped away from them going through those indoctrination centers.
Yeah.
So how do you come into crypto as an artist? Like, what do you see? How do you apprehend this world of crypto?
Yeah, well, I mean, it was natural for me. I mean, when I first heard about Bitcoin in 2010 from a friend of mine who's in the local of the Young Americans for Liberty. We had a Liberty Pub event, which by the way, I think our group here out in Montana like set the mold for how that's currently being like done nationwide with Young Americans for Liberty, which is pretty cool. But my buddy Brad was telling us about Bitcoin. When I first heard about it, it was like immediately I was like, this is going to like end central banks. This is going to save the world. Like immediately I was drawn to it, but I was a lot younger then, and I kind of forgot about it. And I had somebody start talking to me about wallets and stuff I had to download and whatever. And I wasn't really tech savvy. And so I was just kind of like, well, hopefully this is what it cracks up to be. And then 6 years later, I ended up, I guess, really, really getting into it when, before that bull run in 2017. But, both parents were self-employed. My mother's an artist, and my dad's just like an entrepreneur doing sales and working with a couple different startups selling like motion simulators and some renewable energy stuff and stuff for farm equipment and whatever. So like I just always saw my parents, giving me the example of kind of doing things different than what the conventional way of, going to college, getting a job and doing the thing. And they kind of paved their own way. And we never had money, but we had a lot of freedom to be together as a family. And so I had this great example. They're certainly not perfect, but as far as in that regard, they were great. And so very early on, I was thinking for myself and questioning authority at the school. I hated being in school. It did not work for me. I would have done much better in like a no school, homeschool environment, but that wasn't available to me. And so once I got out of school and got into college and stuff, I started thinking like, okay, what the hell am I going to do? And I was very affected by all that programming, right? From the 12 years of indoctrination. And so I'm thinking I got to get a job. I got to go to school. So I'll just go in here and get a music tech degree, and I'll be like a music tech or something or whatever. I'll pay off this debt. And I got myself into a lot of debt and whatever, but something didn't feel right. And then people started like wanting to buy my art. Kids in the dorm started coming up and saying, "Hey, I'll throw you some bucks." That's dope, because I didn't make the all team. I didn't make the cut. So stopped playing basketball and started making art, which I never thought I would actually want to be an artist like my mother was, even though everybody was telling me I would, and I was effortlessly winning art contests and stuff and whatever. I'm like, yeah, that's dumb. I don't want to do that. And then like psychedelics honestly played a huge role in freeing my mind. I don't always like to admit that, but that's just I don't think that's necessary for people to get there, but it really did help kind of shake me out of some of that programming and allowed me to expand my mind to think in different ways. I don't do any drugs anymore. I haven't for a long time, but did a lot of psychedelics in college, and that really like shook up my brain. But even in high school, I remember talking to homies and being like, yo, there's got to be a better way, or like studying the Constitution, and like just being frustrated with looking at the bullshit with the central bank and whatever. And, Ron Paul's runs, I was like way into Ron Paul, and he did such a good job waking people up to like, this general idea of freedom. But and in some ways, I think Ron Paul like set people up to be able to understand and receive and run with crypto. But that's another topic. But and then like crypto
Completely
really
agree.
like, yeah, and then like crypto came onto the scene, and like I said, when I first heard about it, it was just, there was so much else going on in my life and whatever. It was like, yeah, that's a really good idea. But it took me 6 years. I mean, really, it was probably like 4 years until I started to kind of pay attention, but I didn't really jump in and embrace. And like, I haven't once I grabbed it in 2016, I haven't let go. It's an obsession. Like everything from, getting addicted to the charts, and it hasn't been like a balanced, easy ride either, because it's sort of like there's so many psyops, and there's so much, we all have that experience of, I wish I woulda, coulda, whatever, with how many coins we had and what stupid shit we did with them, and we should have just had the lockup back then or whatever. But it's like, as an artist, it was pretty natural for me. But even though it was natural and it's intuitively felt really right, it's still been I could say just over the last couple months, and being exposed to like brilliant people like Jack Lew, that I've really started to actually take that step from like completely away, even from my art, to be honest. Like it's in the thinking, it's in how we are. It's like an ontological thing. The shift is like on a deep level that you can take, that affects how you're going to move in this world. Like, you're talking personal responsibility and these different things, but all these like point towards the point of all this, in my opinion, which is that it's love. And by love, I don't mean something wishy-washy or warm fuzzy or whatever. I mean like a decision to wish well-being on everybody, and that this technology allows me to do that in the way that I transact in my life, the way I bring ideas to the market, the way that I work together with others to try to bring a mutually beneficial situation about through what I could do for work. So it's, man, it feels like we're at the beginning of a wave. Feels like a spiraling, like a funneling, and we're like at the apex of the funnel before the coin just drops, the thing drops. I don't know. It's something that that is both extremely like analytical and like practical and in the code, right? Code is law or whatever. But then this is also like a very like mystical thing going on here that feels really deep and like connected towards like a much bigger thing than just any one little project or piece of code or whatever. And so I'm still really trying to like grab onto it, and I'm trying to let this swirl. My way my brain works as an artist is my mind swirls around stuff. Like, it's like I come in and I probably sound ridiculous sometimes when I'm talking, but like my brain swirls around stuff and swirls around, and eventually I come to an understanding, distill down, and it's probably not the most efficient way to work, but it's how my brain works, and it allows these concepts to seep into the art that I make in kind of a dreamlike subconscious way, where things come to me in like a flash, like an image will come to me in like a moment, and then I can produce that image, and I won't even totally understand exactly how the I've been inspired by have impacted it, sometimes till like well after I've made the piece of art. And it's a very enjoyable thing for me to do. And the way that I make my best art is when I'm inspired by like other people who understand these things that I'm interested in better than I do. So like, that's why I've been around here. It's why I've been willing to get up and try to talk to Jack and put bad ideas out there, because it fuels my art like getting the feedback and interacting and trying, just putting my best foot forward, even though it's not very good time and my ideas are boomer or whatever. That's what I get off on to like make the best art I can make. And it's been honestly a long time since I've like found something that really inspires me to make art this way.
Bro, as you were talking, one of my favorite musicians joined as a audience member here. Have you guys heard of the Crypto Commandments?
I have not. No.
Oh no, unfortunately.
Here, let me play it for you real quick.
Nice.
Are you it kind of sounds like a shower right now. Does anybody else hear it?
I don't hear any music, but I'm curious if this is like a riff off of like Biggie's 10 Crack Commandments, or is it like?
Yeah, it is, bro. It is, man.
Oh, my bad. I didn't hear anything.
Maybe something up with the audio. I don't know, but yeah, it's pretty much it. Yeah.
Yeah, we didn't hear anything.
Dude, but definitely artists are the most important people in all of this, because artists, like I said, are the individuals that did not allow themselves to get their creativity like ripped out of them as they were children going through school. Like how many I'm pretty sure everybody in the audience knows at least of some one person that was discouraged by some teacher or by someone in their life in not pursuing some art, like everyone knows
100%.
Yeah, dude.
That was me all the way. I mean, just hearing, your story, it was just, and like you said, it's very inspiring to hear that somebody actually went through school and didn't get discouraged in like their, quote unquote career goals, whatever. Because for me, it was always follow this very restricted guideline instead of actually creating what you want. And it's weird to have that happen because literally all they're doing is just shutting down your emotions. And I mean, we know this is exactly what they do in school. They get your, I'm not sure if it's a right or left brain, but they get your logical thinking brain, and they want you in your conscious, which is the logical brain, and thinking in your ego instead of identifying with yourself. And that's where a lot of people are really stuck right now. And it's really sad because, people like him make art, and art is what speaks to the heart. And that's really what we're missing is our subconscious brain, and reteaching ourselves the world from the ground up.
Yeah, man. And that's
beautiful, bro.
That's so true. And like being willing to like off that ledge and like go for it. And because there's a certain kind of courage or fear that people will experience when they step outside of the way that they've been programmed to think and operate. Like when I dropped out of college, I had a lot of people be like, "What are you doing, bro? You got to get a job or whatever." And I lived out of the back of my 87 F-150 for like 6 months and just like tooled around the country. And I had people that were like real worried, but like I was one of the best times of my whole life, man. I moved out of this house with all these guys that were in bands and stuff, and I was just like done with college, and I went out and I floated. And then after that, I set off on the rest of my life, and I started my art career. And I was like fresh out of a few years of bullshit in college, and I just went for it. And that's what I've been doing ever since. And there's ups and downs or whatever, but like I encourage other people to take that leap and like start that thing or whatever, or like get involved in a project in crypto, or start trying to cook, or just find some like side gig to support yourself for long enough until like you can find some traction with cooking with other people on chain or whatever. I mean, that's one thing that I'm actually curious to learn more about from other people is like, apart from like selling cartoons or whatever, like I'm certainly not like bankrolling my life by selling my art on chain yet, but like, I'm hoping more opportunities for people to be able to like do well easily in this on-chain world, so that we can depart from a 9 to 5, or from the legacy boxes that we're kind of trained to be put in.
Oh snap! Burnt MD's in the house. What up, Burnt?
What's up?
Burnt MD.
How we doing?
Bro, I'm doing good, man. So good to hear your voice.
What's up, man?
Thanks for having me.
This is awesome, dude. How have you been? How's everything going in Mexico?
Patiently here in paradise. I'm here to build a farm for the children's home so that they can eat healthier, and also for the community. And I'm working with Jardín Secreto, the place that Acapulco was at, and so just patiently waiting for this contract to get fulfilled and then or executed, and then we're going to begin building the hydroponic system that Meteor Systems donated to us. So I'm pretty excited about that. Otherwise, I'm just here teaching English to the kids at the home and doing a bit of surfing, but cooking some food at the moment and listening to you guys.
Hey, yo, like, do you remember the first time you went surfing?
I do. It was with you, wasn't it?
Yeah.
My man. Was that the first time you went?
I was like, I had gone like the day before was my first time.
You just reminded me of that.
I was like, dude, you probably thought I was some pro, man. I only had like 3 hours on me.
Man,
It's hilarious.
definitely not easy.
Yo, it's not. Are you a pro now, Burn? What's up? Tell us the truth.
No, definitely not. Definitely
Dude,
not.
so, all right. So look, Burn's a very humble dude, but dude, you're a badass fucking musician. You know that, right? Like, you're fucking badass, bro.
Thank you.
Like, you're fucking badass, bro. I was just like, what's that song, bro? You got a reggae song, and it goes like I'm gonna smoke, put the top down, and then the chorus is like, holy fucking bro.
You're talking about Illuminate Yourself.
Yeah, bro. Can you drop some lines real quick? Good for the people.
Man, the whole song is a freestyle, so I probably have to sing it again just to be able to know it. But there's a music video on there. My homie shoots really dope drone footage and put together a video for it that's kind of timeless. So you guys can go check it out on my YouTube. Just look up Illuminate Yourself from Burnt MD.
Nice.
Basically, it's like live for the moment forever right now. That's what it talks about.
I've got some friends building a village South Caribbean side of the Yucatan that they've invited me down to. And I've never been to Mexico. I've been further south a bunch, but I've got a lot of people saying a lot of cool things about Mexico. And cost of living up here in Montana is getting just crazy. And we're trying to figure out how to transition somewhere down there. I don't know, Mexico or not, but sounds like you're doing some awesome stuff, like helping the kids out, building farms, growing all your own food, making jams, surfing. Bro, it sounds like you got it made down there.
Well, definitely doing my part and continuing to live the dream. Because why the fuck not? Who's your friend that's building that community? Maybe I know.
His name, one of his names is Jorge, and the other one's Santana, and there's one other guy. I forget his name.
Maybe I don't know. But there was somebody in Acapulco that's doing something similar. I thought maybe there would be
Yeah, I mean, there's people doing that stuff all over Mexico, man, from what I understand. These guys I met through the Uncom app. Bunch of guys in Latu and some spots in Europe, and they're building one in Mexico, and they're trying to build this network of villages where particularly the focus is young men can like go to travel to become like uncommonly like strong and intelligent and start online businesses and then network with other villages around the world, and they'd be like these self-sustaining places and whatever. It's a cool group of people, but they're all into like
that's how you change the world, man.
Yeah, they're into like beta and stuff, and I'm trying to be like, yo, check out like these other blockchains, but I don't know. They're cool. I like them a lot. Yeah.
That's what's up. Uncommonly strong.
Yeah, most of these guys are starting like fitness like groups and stuff. So I'm like the only like artist in the group. So I'm kind of I don't know. I got a lot to learn a lot from these guys because a lot of them are making a ton of money, like selling this workout routine.
There's martial arts. That's an art. It's fitness. I mean, there's all kinds of way. But you know, like I said earlier, art is just expression from the heart.
Yeah, I like to say art is anything done well.
His art.
It's got to think about that.
His art. Heart.
Yo, I think I just shared the I think I did the song Illuminate Yourself on the Nest.
Oh,
You guys gotta listen to it. Oh, dude, it's a banger, bro. It had everybody going.
I'm about to listen to that for real though, because I fuck with freestyles. Like I freestyle every day, because it's like you can be meditating but speaking at the same time. You know what I'm saying? And I'd be like meditating and shit, like I don't know, 30 minutes to an hour, and then you can like get in where you. This is what I do. I like think of my next thought, right, while I'm meditating, and that just keeps me like in that love and acceptance kind of consciousness. And then from there I can do my freestyles, which is like my art. So I'm like spitting in like love and acceptance, which I'm sure like you're already, that's what exactly what you're on. So I mean, I'm gonna check that out.
Bro, Crypto Show in the house, bro. If you're an OG, you know the Crypto Show. The Crypto Show was like the first crypto show. Actually, wasn't it? I think, is this Danny?
Yeah.
Is this Danny?
Yeah.
What up, Danny? What's going on?
March. No, well,
I thought that was your voice.
February 2013 or 2014. Yeah.
So was it Let's Talk Shitcoin or you the first show? I don't know. One of you two.
Oh, Let's Talk Bitcoin was they came out before. Yeah, they definitely came out before us, because remember they came to the first Texas Bitcoin conference. I mean, that's where the Crypto Show came from, is when we were organizing that Texas Bitcoin conference. We just, Harlan came in one day and he goes, I have a connection on the radio. We should start a show about Bitcoin. And like we threw out a couple of names, and then boom, a couple of weeks later we're on the air.
Live for the moment,
Yeah.
forever, right now. Hey, bro, you freestyled that? What's going on with you, bro? You freestyled the whole song?
So check it out. My homie Silent Bear, he's a really awesome musician, and he sings songs at the Sweat Lodge at for the Native American ceremonies in Colorado and other places. And he was doing an open mic in Colorado, and he said, "Come through." So I went there, and he was playing his guitar, and this song came out, and it got recorded. And I liked it so much that I went to the studio. He replayed the guitar, brought in a bunch of musicians. I said the same words that I said on the recording. And, of course, I put the chorus a couple more places, and boom, that's the song.
Bro, we're not going to end this space without you freestyling for us. like for real, man. Like, you're so fucking talented, bro.
You're very kind. You're very kind. Bro, you are as well, obviously, because you got people here on the channel listening to us.
Bro, that's all because of the vibe. You feel me? We're bringing this vibe, bro.
High vibe, yeah.
Bro, the vibe. Yo, you remember 1 year we had the Wu-Tang, right? And we had Killer Priest. Yeah, dude. And we had what's his other name? Killer Priest and Old Dirty Bastard's little brother.
Little brother?
Yeah. So no, that Killer Priest, and there was Born Divine was there too. And anyways,
I wasn't there that year. Johnny Hurley was there that year, but I wasn't.
Dude, so these guys, man, we were like talking philosophy, smoking, and all of a sudden, man, they would like they're talking to you, but they'd start freestyling and giving you advice on life. It was like, what the fuck is going on?
Nice.
That's pretty basic.
So is that what you need? You need some freestyling advice on life?
I mean, the thing is that, I learned a big lesson here from, I think it was Schwank and Chase. They said, you got to think not with your ego. that people are indoctrinated to think with their ego in schools.
Mm.
That hit hard, bro.
Yeah, I'm working on this new song. It's pretty much done. I just have to record one of the re-record one of the verses on a different mic, on a better microphone. But it's called "The Truth in Nature." Basically, I did a vision quest in June where I went out into the mountains. It's a Native American ceremony, and I was out there for 3 days. No food, no water, no tent, and you know, to align, like when we talk about truth, talk about there's three truths. There's yours, your truth, my truth, and the truth. And they said creator's truth is different than our truth. So when we align with the truth, it could be a rude awakening. And many of us are living a lie, and we're pushing through life with false pride, and making a path through everything, and often a path of destruction, especially when it's false pride. And so, this this song has to do with that and principles, and ultimately every animal in nature is living its purpose. What purpose do humans have? Does anybody have an idea?
To love and to know and to love.
Well, the something I recently was taught that I've been practicing is the 7 grandfather teachings. And the 7 grandfather teachings are a practical way to live love. And so this song basically is kind of about that and about my journey going through it. And yeah, I'm happy. I'm looking forward to releasing it soon. But I can tell you, I'm happy to spit one of the verses for you guys. And actually,
Is that related to the 7 virtues?
It's not related, no. But even if you look
Okay.
up online, the 7 grandfather teachings, one of them will be love, but it's not correct. It's just like, somebody's explanation of it. But ultimately, so you guys want to know what the 7 grandfather teachings are?
If you don't mind, yeah.
Yeah.
If you don't mind. No, I don't mind. I'll be happy to share. So the first teaching is truth. To understand truth the way Creator understands truth, and to live true according to Creator's truth, even if it means our death. The second teaching is honesty. To live honest with ourselves, with Creator's truth. To be honest with ourselves with Creator's truth, and to understand honesty the way Creator does. The third teaching is courage. To understand courage the way Creator does, and to live courageous, Creator's truth. The fourth teaching is bravery. To understand bravery the way Creator does, and to live brave according with Creator's truth. And the difference between courage and bravery: courage is to know what to do with the truth, and bravery is doing it. The fifth teaching is respect. To understand respect the way Creator does, and to live respectfully with the truth, Creator's truth. The sixth teaching is humility. To be humble. To understand humility the way Creator does, and to live humble with Creator's truth. Always. And if we live these 6 things, the 7th teaching appears, which is wisdom. And if we understand wisdom the way Creator does, and we live wise, and we're living these 6 teachings, and if we live wise without judgment, which is the secret 8th teaching, then we live love in a practical way. And those are the 7 grandfather teachings. And the first one, as I said, is truth. And so like each one, I basically meditated on each one for about a month. And I went up the mountain every day before dawn. And they say the dawn walker has all the wisdom of the world. And if you go out there and align with truth at that time, or with anything at that time, really, it's more pure. And they say that if you ever woke up super early, or you ever went out super early, you hear the birds chirping, and at some point before the sun rises, they stop, and then they'll start again. But it's said that when they stop, that the birds are praying for humanity. So during that time, I was praying for humanity, and I did that every day for about 8 to 10 months, every morning, just about, even when it was snowing. And so writing this song really helped me, bring it more to life, and share these principles in a way. And a lot of people talk about God or Creator or whatever kind of higher power, or even ourselves, or source energy, or the universe. And a lot of us give our power up to other sources so that we can feel stronger. though this is all about becoming whole onto ourselves and through our relationship with Creator, not looking to man or woman for our energy, but looking to Creator for it, which is an infinite source, and ultimately, um, being sovereign in the Most High way. And yeah, so that's what that's all about. And if you guys want to hear this verse, I'd be happy to share it.
Thanks for that, man. That was beautiful.
Oh, my pleasure. Pleasure. So
Oh my God, did I just get here? Did I just miss all of what Burnt MD just shared? No, I didn't.
It's recorded, bro. It's
Oh my
recorded.
God.
Relax.
Now I can relax, dude.
this is a different verse, but I just pulled it up and it's super dope. I just wrote it. It doesn't really have. I guess it kind of has a song yet, but I haven't recorded it.
Yes.
It's like this. We sick. The ill cause, the real, the feel for us. Clean seashores, water is life for all us. Here chorus, Aloris, I horror. Still government running amok and all us. Period late. Sealing your fate is lawless. Standing in front of the gates is pour us. Hell like Gargamel. Well, we are the winners when the sinners are the fail. It ain't hard to tell. Sucking up the fist, the cuss that God in us will dissipate. The course the hate is lost the way invested. No better of a test for dependence. You can't dance. No independence left. You can't tell. For the content they can't sell. Whatever we don't like, we can't sell. Appreciate to leave the cape behind. Be your man. My superpowers allow me to rhyme. Blossom a flower alive, divine. Like women and man, we power the fan. Spiritual God invented within the mind. Understand?
Woo!
Did you
Right
catch it?
I love it. I love it. My God, if you guys don't know who Burnt MD is, give him a follow because this man has touched my heart in more ways than I can really describe. We met at Anarchapulco years ago, and I've just watched him blossom to a beautiful human being. His artistry is second to none. Second to none, man. I mean, dude, thank you for sharing. It's so great to see you.
Can you show us on the doll where he touched you?
Oh my God. I hope it's not a voodoo doll, because then you'll all feel it.
No, man, it's a kind of touch
Right
that
in
you
the heart.
can't describe. Yeah, it's heartfelt, man. Yeah,
Thank you, brother.
you know it.
Oh no, I literally just felt it.
Yeah, Anarchapulco, 10th anniversary, coming in
Oh
February.
shit.
Who's playing, man? Who's gonna be on the main stage? That's what I'm saying. I want to see Free Nuts out there. I want to see Burnt Eddie, right? Be Love and Be You. Like let's L Dixon, right? This is the time to lift up the art that have given so much to Anarchapulco, and honestly, been burned along the way. It's not hard to make it to that stage. It's not easy to make it to that stage, right? There's a lot of proving of yourself that you have to do, and I respect them for that. I respect the producers for being so hard because the culture and the community of that event it's so sacred, it's so unique to any conference I've ever been to in the world, and it has its ups and downs for sure. It's not perfect, but it's people like us that continue to show up and face the music and bring the music to the event that just make it better and better each year. And baby, it is year number 10, February 2024.
Live for the moment. For right now.
I performed that song at a so there's this I know this Jewish rabbi who's like super religious, and he has 10 kids, and his kids all love me, and one of his kids was getting married, and she was like, "Oh my God, will you rap at my wedding?" And I was like, "Really?" And she's like, "Yeah." So they brought me to the wedding, which was in I don't know, Vail or Aspen, Colorado, and in front of all these like New York City rabbis that flew out for this wedding and all these people, and I performed that song. And after the song, this one of the older elders, he said, "So what does this mean? Live for the moment, forever, right now, you know?" And I had to explain it to him, and because there's a lot of trains of thought where we think, okay, if I'm only living for right now, then I might even be setting myself up for failure later, you know. And the whole YOLO, like you only live once kind of thing. And it's like, if all I know is now, then all I can focus on is now. But at the same time, if I'm focusing on now with preparation of what's to come in mind, then I might be setting myself up for success and learning from the past. And so because for so long I showed up in the present and the now with a mask on, and I was kind of afraid to be myself. Let's keep it real. And the whole ego thing that got built up so that I could protect myself, and I built an alter ego. and use that to meet the world. And then all of a sudden, when the world's there, it's like, well, where am I? Because you show up, you feel empty in a lot of places. And so becoming whole onto myself has allowed me to show up me, and you might even see me not wearing a hat sometimes. And so what that has to do with is like showing up fully and living in the now. And but always, because literally, like, the frequency we live on occurs, I believe, through our breath, and how we breathe determines our level of ease or stress, especially the things we eat and drink. And ultimately, when we're able to live in the moment, or let's say live for the moment, we can commune with the magic that is possible at all times. Because at any given time, any one of us has the ability to make miracles in our life and be a solution in our own life, or for somebody else, just by stepping up and helping, showing love.
Yeah, man. You have done that. Can you, if you haven't already, can you share a little bit about what you've marched children's home in Acapulco?
Well, a couple years ago, when I came down here to rap at a bunch of different events, I met Danny, who just spoke from the Crypto Show, and Danny was like, "Hey, man, come down to the Marsh home and rap for the kids." And I was like, "That sounds amazing." And then the day he invited me, I missed. And then I saw him again. And I was like, "Bro, I'm not a flake. Like, let's do it again." And he was like, "All right, we'll try again." So we did it again. And Acapulco Ron brought hamburgers, and Elias Clay came with me because I asked her to come because she speaks Spanish. And at that time, I didn't speak more than a couple of words. So she actually did amazing and took over most of the event, or most of the music, and I performed something in the middle, a song with her, and then a couple of my songs, because they weren't going to understand my songs, because it's English. Anyway, so I fell in love with them. I came back a few different times after, and then again with Elias, she was doing an after school program with like arts and crafts for the kids, and I would go there every time with her and just see what these kids were eating. And I showed up like a typical gringo with a lot of judgment and thinking I could fix them. And, that's nothing new for a lot of us, to go someplace and to be like, "Oh, I know more than you. Listen to me. Let me help you." And really, that's kind of a naive or ignorant approach. And, more often than not, this is what they want to be doing. And at the same time, like, I still wanted to influence them and inspire them to not only be able to grow their own food, but eat healthier, at least eat a salad once in a while. Like, they get no greens at all. And I know for me, growing up as a kid, eating candy and eating microwave foods and eating, shit, man, I became a depressed teenager, and so on and so forth. Until I changed my diet, my life didn't change. And when I changed my diet, my whole body changed. My whole mood changed. Everything about me. I used to have quote unquote ADD and blah, blah, blah. And now, I might still, but I can focus so much better. And when I eat sugar, I can't really focus. In fact, I feel fucking crazy. And if I'm eating sugar all day long and I'm constantly chasing sugar, well, then I'm not even me. And we all know, or those of us who know, sugar is a more intense drug than cocaine. The mouse, when they do the test, goes back to the sugar more often than it goes back to the coke. And so, if that tells you anything, aside from all the pesticides that they grow the plants with to make the sugar, that ends up getting concentrated and then going into us and doing all its wonders.
Yeah, so, not to mention all the shit that has cane sugar and it's already pre-processed.
Likely, yeah, it's hard for the body to break down these processed sugars. And so, we end up with all these issues. And believe it or not, one of the things that I also do is with Gorilla Healer, GUE, Unconventional Healer, I help patients with life-threatening ailments heal with cannabinoid therapy. And I've worked with many of children, people of all ages with epilepsy, all different kinds of ailments, including cancer, leukemia, blah, blah, blah. And it's like, it never fails when somebody with epilepsy has come to me, and I say, okay, try not eating sugar, because literally, without even realizing it, the sugar would their seizure, and a lot of foods high in sugars would trigger them. And so, a lot of different diseases, man. It's without fail. And these kids, from morning to night, they're getting filled up with sugar and bread that has sugar on it. And they get one actual meal a day. And at the same time, I don't even know how they're eating when they're up in the mountains where they come from. It might even be worse. It might just be different. I'm not sure. But I do know that Growing healthy kids makes happy adults. And so yeah, I've been inspired to help them eat better, and I built a garden in the home. Elias built this area where we're growing sprouts, and I built a fence around it, and built a raised garden planter, and put all these veggies in there. And Danny and I built a vertical hydroponic tower for them. First, we built a horizontal one, and that turned out very leaky. So then we built a vertical one, and Danny literally came down to Acapulco for this multiple times. So I just want to salute you every time. And um, and yeah, then once Acapulco donated a whole bunch of more money to them, they downed the garden and put up this concrete protective area so that they can protect a bunch of the rooms from the rains that they were waiting for to get the money for to do. So now I'm basically focused on building a bigger one, which I always was. I just built a small one there just so they can have something to do. But yeah, we got this amazing deep water culture hydroponic system from Media Systems, Laura and Nona, that came to Acapulco and met them a few years ago, and then they saw me on a video with Danny and contacted Danny, and I was just at that time looking for floaters for a deep water culture system to build it, and I couldn't find anything that I thought was non-toxic. And then all of a sudden they hit Danny up, and he was like, give them a call. And I'm like, wow, you guys do what I'm looking for. It was amazing. And so yeah, it's just been a series of incredible events that, while living in service, keep coming together. And as we all know, when you make a commitment, it's not often easy, and it's not often, if it's a you know, a strong commitment to something that's meaningful, it might not be very short. So I'm here, and been learning a lot, being humble this whole time, because the famous word for the word of the day here in Acapulco is mañana. Everything gets done tomorrow, and tomorrow they say tomorrow. So it takes a while for good things to happen, but really looking forward to this going down, and I think we're going to have something ready to be able to demonstrate by the time Acapulco comes. Jardín Secreto is excited for it too, and we actually have some good plans to support the whole community with this, not just the children's home. So it's pretty exciting.
Dude, congratulations, man. That sounds amazing, bro. That sounds really cool, bro. It's like you know, it goes to show how like multifaceted like people can be when they live in the moment forever right now.
Well, that's
Like,
the thing about living God's truth. You know, my truth is different. I might have been in Colorado doing a whole bunch of things that I wanted to do, but when I saw this turtle sanctuary that can use my help, and when I saw this children's home, I was like, wow, I care. I realized that's why for 4 or 5 years, Creator was trying to bring me here, and I kept saying no. And when I finally came here, I got to these places, and I was like, wow, this is why I'm supposed to come here, because I care about these places, and I've been supporting these places. I have a badge from the turtle sanctuary. I can literally legally go up and down the beach and find egg nests and bring them back without getting arrested. In fact, the other day I sent the police away because they were doing it wrong. That was awesome. And yeah, so when we live of service, we have to honor the moment. We have to honor the truth, and in that way, stepping up. You know, how many people do we know? How many events do we see where somebody, you know, a situation can use help? You know, everybody's a fucking bitch. You know, like, excuse my language, but like, hello, you know, like, nothing's gonna happen if we don't do it. If we don't make it happen, and if we're always waiting for it to happen or waiting for somebody else to do it, then we're enabling nothing to happen. You know, and so. Yeah, salute to everybody who just shows the fuck up when you need it.
Warriors of God, man. Warriors of God.
Yeah, I think a big difference with in Acapulco and other events that you end up going to is most events, you know, how big of a party can we throw? It's just like it's all about show, and this is one of the few places where there's actually things that happen and people are doing things. You know, it's one of the main things I've loved about this event ever since I've been part of it.
And you are. You know, I just want to say, I don't know if you want your business out there, but Danny, I see volunteers for a lot of the things that he does and that he cares about. And for so long, all I did, like in the rap world, in the music world, I wouldn't even talk to you if you didn't have like some sort of deal on the table for me, you know? And that's what I grew to understand is how to be successful. And obviously that's bullshit. And not to say that in the entertainment world, like, you know, the manager of a famous artist, their job is to turn down most things that aren't right. All money is not good money, you know? So you have to be really careful with the things that we align with. And at the same time, when we're living in service, you know, when we're honoring Creator's truth, man, that could bring us all around the world to places that we never even imagined, and we get to experience a love that we always knew existed but couldn't really find perhaps anywhere around us immediately. And so it just takes a bit of wind or a nice wave, and not being afraid of it, but riding that shit, and jumping and flying, and in fact preparing ourselves to do so, because whatever you love, nobody else loves the way you love it. And if you cultivate that and become a master, man, every table that you show up to, you're going to have something to be able to offer, whether or not it's needed, but you're not going to be a dead weight. And so Danny's done enough to learn how to build, to learn how to do this, to learn how to do that, and to do the things that he loves, even podcasting. I don't know if you went to podcast school, but look, obviously do something you love, and then it becomes a thing. Consistency solidifies, And so I just want to say this to empower all of us, because we're all needed in the future.
Emotion, energy, and motion.
Dude, that, like you said, man, not all money's good money. Love it.
Yep.
Yeah, and your comment
What
about the future,
money?
man.
I hear there's some crypto commandments flowing around.
That's clever. Yeah, but what you just shared is kind of like the thesis of the new Bitcoin economy. Like if you're going into this technology with the expectation of trying to, like the old corporate Piscean model of, oh, no good for me if there's not a deal on the table, then you're going to lose. You have to kind of lead forward with value, like real value, and not be a dead weight, as you said. It's because you're going to be challenged. You're going to struggle with the tech. You're going to be confused. So if you're trying to come out this trying to make money and get rich quick, good fucking luck, man.
Yeah.
Pump it up. Pump it up.
The moment that I started paying attention to service, the better my life got in so many ways, because I used to focus on money, and man, I was stressed constantly. And, I can't really exactly pinpoint what changed other than the frequency I was operating at and the things that became important. And at that time, out of nowhere, when I stopped focusing on money the same way, I lived in a bigger house than I ever lived in. Things just changed. Not that I need a big house, but like it was different. And as soon as I started taking my own medicine, man, my whole life changed also. Because a lot of us know it's easy to dish something good, but are we really taking our own medicine? And so I think that's where it's really important to see who we're listening to, because if I'm giving you health advice and I'm a fat piece of shit, what the fuck are you listening to me for? I might know things, but like, it's like your parents telling you to do one thing and they're doing another thing. And how are we learning from them? We're learning from what they do, not what they say. And so we have to be a living example. And man, we really do need more role models in this world, don't we?
Yeah, for sure, bro. It's like we're moving into this awesome world where, like, now the yoke of, like, the heaviness of the debt-based system is like being pushed away because we have crypto, so people can now, like, really be in the present moment and serve one another. Because that's the thing, Brent, is that, like, as long as we're under financial slavery, they're not going to have time to think.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Like, most people are, they wake up, they go 9 to 5, and then
most people think God will come from the sky, take away everything, and make everybody feel high. But if you know what life is worth, you will look for yours on earth. And now you see the light. Stand up for your rights.
Yay. So have y'all heard about the on-chain economies being bubbling up all over crypto? It's like the first time people are actually starting to use the technologies, leveraging off each other's success and cooking together. Because I know, Bernd, you're a cook. People are cooking
right now.
Bro, they're cooking together. You know what I mean by cooking together? Like, they jump on spaces, and then someone comes up with an idea, and then someone in the audience is coding that idea. And before you know it, before the space is over, the idea is a reality. And then everybody is like moving into trying out this new idea in the open market. It's fucking amazing, bro. It's like the peer-reviewed process starts in the mind, and we come together, our minds come together, and we start cooking together ideas, man. And that's something, like, the reality is that the innovation and the market now moves at the speed of thought. And that's why I wanted to invite you to the space today, Bert, because I want you to be a chef cooking ideas with us. And I'm happy Danny is here as well, because we got to cook together, bro.
Me too. Thank you, brother.
Hey, I hope you're not peeing there, bro.
Yeah, no, I'm washing my hands. I'm making salsa. Just cooking up some onions, and then I put some tomatoes in it, a little bit of coconut oil, a little bit of garlic, and then I put it in the blender, and it's a whole new world.
Dude, that's
You
awesome.
know, like
Some
I said
chili.
earlier, emotion is emotion. So when you're saying we're putting these minds together to create this code there for the peer review code, it's like the idea already exists as an energy out there. We're just moving towards it. And because it's unity consciousness, all that funny stuff.
Yeah, if it's in the ether, it's out there.
Yeah, it's wild the things that are happening right now in crypto. It's so wild that the only way to keep up with it is by literally being in these spaces and having conversations with people in real time. Like that's how crazy this space is moving, how fast it's moving.
Well, Ralph, thank you for doing your part and doing what you love, so that you created a platform in that way, and then here we are, sharing in that love, and I'm grateful that you invited me. It's not always that I see a message right away or answer it right away, and because I did, here we are.
So, Raphael, how do you think these ordinals, might be able to contribute in some sort of a way, like in this, how we're doing this peer-to-peer thought kind of
Okay,
thing?
so have you guys seen the bell curve meme? It's really funny. I'm gonna share it. I think you guys need a visual
Check it out.
what I'm about to tell you. So, long story short, the smartest people on the planet already discovered crypto, right? Like we can safely say that if you are a very high IQ person, you already discovered crypto by now, right? It's been 15 years, right? So if you're smart, you're pretty much already, at the very least, knowledgeable as to what Bitcoin is, crypto is, right? So the rest of the planet, it's either too busy, enslaved in the debt-based layer to even pay attention or even learn, because that's mostly, there's a lot of smart people out there, but they're stuck in their 9 to 5s. That's the sad part, is that there's a lot of people out there that are stuck in their 9 to 5. So when they come home, the last thing they want to do is work, right? And when they have that one day, that Saturday that everyone lives for, Friday comes out, they get so happy. And then Saturday comes and they're like, yay, finally, I get to rest. But then they have to deal with everything at home, right? On Saturday. And so Sunday, oh, dude, you got to go to church. Or if you're Jewish, well, then it's Saturday. If you're Muslim, it's whatever, Friday. I don't know. You know what I mean? Like your weekend is booked no matter what you do. And then you got to get ready for Monday. Back to the grind, right? That's the vast majority of the population lives in that literal like slavery, dude. It's really sad. So how do you reach them? How do you reach the masses? How do you take the gift of crypto that we've discovered and bring it to the rest of the world? Like, think about it. How do you get there? And so I'm going to share this funny meme and with a philosophical question, which is kind of funny, dude. Where you at? Everybody in some way is somewhere within this meme. It's like that. This is a powerful meme, bro. This is a very powerful meme. Where are you on the bell curve? Because you can be really smart about one thing. You can be very IQ, or you can be very low EQ, or you can be very, very high EQ and very low IQ. Or you can be all over the board. I don't know. Everybody's different, right? And regarding every different topic in life, you can be one of these three people. So it's on the nest, and you have on the left side of the curve, you have what looks like Cro-Magnon, right? Like that's a low IQ vibe, right?
Hey, where did you post this?
It's up on the nest. So go up here on the channel, and look up on the nest. It's the last post up on the nest. Do you see it?
Ah, I see it now. The curve. Cool.
Yeah, the curve. Yeah. So then you got the Jedi Knight on the right. And those are like the high IQ people, right? Like the Jedis are already in crypto. They've been in crypto. And the biggest of Jedis are the ones that discover the coolest of things in crypto first. And then in the middle, you have like the vast majority of people who follow the Jedis, but they're like really frustrated. And they get butthurt when they see like Dogecoin or Doggy coins and like meme coins rocket. and they're like frustrated. Like, why is it that my fundamentally sound cryptocurrency is not pumping, but all the stupid shit is pumping? Like, you don't want to be the guy in the middle. That's what I'm trying to tell you. You want to embrace the far right and the far left. In other words, you want to be a Jedi Knight that understands the world as it is, and you have to understand that the majority of the planet is on the left. Everybody has to discover cryptos on the left, and they're either people that they don't have to be dumb. They're just people that are completely, they don't have time for something serious because they're living in the debt-based system. They're over leveraged, and they're enslaved financially. So those are
they're living in their moment.
No, they're living in a moment for someone else, really.
Yeah.
They don't have time to think, Burnt. Like, look, you told me your walk, you know, and how you've done all these amazing things, bro. It's because you've taken a choice. You made a choice, a deliberate choice to step out of the matrix. Some people, they buy into the lies of like, you got to go to school, you got to get a degree, then you have the degree. There's always something else. There's some sort of like eschatology, right? If I accomplish this, then I will be free, right? That's the lie they sell you so that you get more in debt. If you go to school, then you will be free. If you get these credentials, then you will be free. If you get this license, you will be able to make money to be free, right? It's all this friction, all these lies that eventually lead people more and more in debt, till they're stuck and they find themselves not owning anything, being enslaved, and not having anything. So those people are really smart, but they were just lied to, and they fell for the lie. A lot of those people are on the far left. We can call them far left because they really don't have time to think. So they may have incredible brains, but their brains are dedicated for building up the debt-based economy even more. So those guys, they exist. Now those people, when they think about crypto, they don't want to think about crypto as something like serious, as something complicated. They want to have fun because they're tired, they're exhausted. So what is going on? What's going on is that this whole Ordinals thing. See, now I'm bringing it back full circle to answer Danny's question. This whole Ordinals thing, this whole on-chain economies thing is the vibe for us to actually use crypto to onboard the planet onto these amazing equity layers of trust. What do I mean? That we can come together and we can start cooking and looking out for each other, because when you buy a cryptocurrency, you're not just buying a technology or an economic system. You're investing in the other people that are part of the network. You feel me? Like when I buy Bitcoin, I'm thinking about Burnt. I'm thinking about Shrunk. I'm thinking about Danny of the Crypto Show. I'm thinking about Crypto Voyager, right? I'm thinking about everybody that I know and I trust, and I'm really investing in them. And when they buy the crypto, they're really investing in me. You feel me? So now we're at the point where a lot of the crypto world kind of fell into a lie where we were like, okay, we got crypto. Well, now we need these middlemen called exchanges to come in and sell us the crypto. And we have things like SBF and FTX happen, right? Like these hypocrites that come into crypto, they'll sell you the crypto as an investment vehicle, but next thing you know, they're not practicing what they preach. Why wasn't FTX built on a blockchain? Because if it was built on the blockchain, then we could have confirmed reserves every block of time, right? See how hypocritical these Wall Street types are? That they come in, we go through the Wall Streetization of crypto, but then it's like it's just it's a fugazi, bro. They take advantage of the space. So people in crypto are starting to take matters into their own hands, starting to converge around the best of networks in order to literally look out for each other and create systems with using the blockchain itself as a native economy where we come in, dialogue with each other, where we cooperate together. So Ordinals does that. And the goal here, guys, is to have fun. We need to have fun. Number one goal is to have fun. And that's why artists are so important, Burnt. That's why you're here, because I've told everyone, I had an insight, bro. This was like from God, for real, dude. Engineers created the spaceships. The businessmen and the marketers are giving crypto its fuel. But the pilots of these spaceships are the artists. So you as an artist, you're a pilot. You tell us where we're going. You drive us there. You feel me? That's why artists are, in my opinion, the most important people in all of crypto.
I'm laughing because I just jumped on the motorbike and I'm like holding the steering wheel about to take off and drive. He just said that.
You the pilot, bro. Bro, that's called that's called text painting in theater, right? When the music matches the actions, where life rhymes with the art in synchronicity. So we just text painted. I just text painted your existence, bro.
Dude, that's
Say
what I
that
was
again with
talking
the
about with the
music.
funneling.
What?
So
I
like,
was describing the funneling. It's like there's a swirling and convergence happening. It's like things are synchronizing.
Nice.
yeah,
And yeah,
everything's
Raph,
coming
you
together.
said something. The music does something with the art, and what you said was poetry. I don't know if you can repeat it, but I just would love to plant it in my mind.
So look up text painting. So it's a in theater you learn that when you synchronize, it's the synchronization of music and art with real life or human action as it's happening at the moment of inflection.
Yeah. And there's different time lengths and patterns of all this happening. Like we notice it happening immediately to us, and then you can like think back. And there's lots of us who have experiences. Like I've been in a lot of people talk about like 10 years ago. Like think about 10 years ago and what you were doing, and I bet there's something that was happening then that like resonates and like harmonizes with something you've been feeling recently, like a shift, a change, a sea change in your life. And like I've just been hearing a lot of people from a lot of different angles talking about 10 years ago X was happening, and now this other thing's happening, and it's like a similar revolution and a similar change. I don't know. I know it's true in my life. I've been hearing other people talk about it. Just I'm curious. Other people reflect on that and just think about it.
So that's the vibe, bro. It's a vibe. Like from now on, like everything in crypto has been created. The spaceships are ready, right? Like the spaceships are ready. All you got to do now is tell people that the spaceship exists, people that don't know. And now the market and innovation will move at the speed of thought. So what happened with Ordinals was a convergence of the brightest of minds across all of crypto that are also leveraging off AI. They come into one network. They chose one network, and they chose BTC because it's the biggest, more people. It's like you're going to open up a business, you're going to do it in a metropolis. You're not going to do it in a little town, right? Obviously. So Bitcoin is the biggest metropolis, most liquidity, most people, and more security. Not just security that you buy, a hired gun. No, security that is grassroots. The Bitcoin miner industry is a grassroots industry that is competitive in design. It's a capitalist meritocracy in design. So that's why this whole Ordinals thing blew up, right? With no VC, there was no roadmap, there was no incubator, there was no VC money. People just came in and they understand. They're digging into what Satoshi gave us, and they are cooking together and to figure out how to serve each other. It's very beautiful, very beautiful. What's happening, and every artist, because now again we move from the responsibility of having personal security and knowing how to manage your crypto to now that we feel safe with crypto, now people are their creativity, right? And what happens is that a lot of dudes, like for example me, right? Like me, I know that as a kid they took away that creative vibe from me. You feel me? Like I know it, dude. Like I it's like in school, dude, they take that shit from you. But some people like Schwank, like Bert MD, like Matt Welsh, they were people that held stronger to that creative aspect of themselves. And they're people that have been developing the creative muscle for their whole life, and those are the people we need now in crypto the most, the creatives. You just got to live for the moment forever, right now.
Well, if we can do things that will be mutually beneficial for the world and protect creation, I'm all about it. And we can build those soups all day, every day.
I was just thinking about like speaking my mind. So I was thinking while you were saying that about an integration of blockchain with like food supply chain, logistics, stuff like that. But then I was thinking like, people can subscribe to maybe sort of like a health-based system, and it would pay in some sort of, I don't know, work proof coin. And then maybe they could, each item that they eat, that they keep track of, they could assign certain micronutrient value instead of like the macros that everybody counts, like calories. And you could get your mineral. Well, I eat raw vegan, so like you got to get minerals when you're vegan. Maybe they could assign like a mineral value, and then they get rid of all their deficiencies. Because the diet is key to health. I'm sure some of you know. And instead of, you know, how they use blockchain in hospitals, instead of the hospitals, you know, we could actually prevent instead of um, cure symptoms or whatever.
So are you saying some sort of journal that has entries on the blockchain that gives a cheat sheet for somebody's own health?
Not a cheat sheet for their health, but more like a reward for doing for getting what your body needs for the day, so that you can be as efficient as possible. Because it all starts from us, our minds, and our connected brains, the gut, the heart, and the mind, all three of our brains.
So you mean incentivizing being healthy, more or less? Did you get all your vitamins and minerals today? Well, then you get these prizes for doing so, kind of thing? Or what?
Yes, and it maximizes efficiency and in that person, and maybe you could put that in a certain specific space, such as a health and fitness space where somebody already pays to go to the gym monthly. So on top of that gym subscription, it could be like a, hey, would you like to earn some extra money while you're going to our gym and help pay for your subscription by maximizing your time here and actually getting a benefit from coming in diet wise and you know, fitness wise, kind of thing. Just spitting.
How does that generate revenue without sponsors or ads?
Well,
Yeah, hey,
go ahead.
hey Chase, I think what you're talking about, like figuring out ways to incentivize eating and living healthy, is like a beautiful and wonderful thing.
Yeah.
But just to be blunt, and don't take this the wrong way, I think that's a boomer
Yeah,
idea.
bring
What
me
you're talking
down
about,
to the ground, man. I'm
like
ready to learn.
I think what you're talking about again is a beautiful thing, and you should do that. But as far as like a guidepost, and this is something I've recently learned, so this isn't me like talking down or anything, but like the qualities that you want to think about with these ideas for the on-chain world, or is it open source? Is it on-chain? Is it interoperable? And to start to think that way, and this sort of like I was, and I'm saying this because I was like throwing these different ideas at Jack Lew about my art, and in different ways I thought I could like do my art that would be like on chain and like cool and whatever, but the whole thing was kind of like revolved around something that was like in the world IRL that I did, and like, and those things may end up on chain. So that's why I'm saying I don't want to like discourage you from like thinking of ways to incentivize healthy behavior. I think that will happen, but like I think there are ideas that can really, you know, take us like a step up, and then there's ideas that are like Raf's talking about that we can get on a rocket ship and we can like go into the stratosphere with, and those
Absolutely.
ideas, the characteristics will be on chain, open source, interoperable, and like new. It's like something that you like new.
And it also has to be like simple in design so that it's easy to onboard. So it has to be like a simplicity to the way you use it, very intuitive. And it doesn't mean that you put a lot of effort into it. It actually means you put less effort into it. So like the vibe is like you want to create things like fast, try them out. And if your idea doesn't blow up, like literally blow up and goes super viral, like I'm talking about like 10 million users within a week, you should put that idea aside and either refine it and make it better, or just start off with another idea. But the thing is that we have to realize that when you build on-chain, open source, and interoperable on any of these blockchains that give you that capacity, what you're doing is that you're leveraging off each other's work, because we're all looking out after each other. It's like there's a new paradigm that we all have to like acquiesce our minds to, is that it doesn't matter what company you have, what company you own or you're part of, your company will never outlive the blockchain, and you have to be okay with that. Like the Crypto Vigilante will not outlive the blockchain. It won't. The blockchain is forever. All blockchains are forever, and I'm comfortable with that. I'm okay with that. And I know that fundamentally, the real quote unquote businesses that we all work for is the best of blockchains. So if we can contribute to the best of blockchains, then we are, then our mind is properly in its right place. And when we do that, when we build on-chain open source interoperatively, we're serving each other. So like the blockchain changes the world of capitalism from one of like you guys said earlier, thinking with your ego, to one where you're thinking with charitable heart. You know, you're thinking of how to serve other people best, how to serve your network best. You feel me?
There is life in filling niches in societal niches.
Yeah, so that's kind of like and you have to be an artist. Like you have to be an artist, you have to be creative in order to really be able to engage this. You can't be someone that doesn't embrace that aspect of you. You know, you have to, everybody from now on in crypto is going to be figuring out how to become more and more creative. Like I was talking to a buddy of mine. Well, yesterday, Matt Welsh talked about how he was on an airplane and he got this insight. Well, guess what, Matt? I had a conversation with a buddy of mine a couple of days ago who is studying creativity and how to become more creative because of this. And they say that when you're in higher altitudes, your brain becomes more creative. Like straight up.
100%.
Yeah. I mean, I just my fault. Go ahead.
No, Chase.
I'm out here living at 6,000 feet.
So I was actually thinking, you know, of another thing where, you know, when you meditate, your brain goes into, I think it's alpha, correct me if I'm wrong, but there's measuring devices that you can use, and maybe, let's just say you connect that headset to your brain while you meditate, and you become more creative that way. Maybe, I know, like you said, you need like sponsors and stuff, but you could incentivize, and you can connect that program so it's measurable about what's going on, and maybe it could like really help Unity consciousness connect faster than ever before if you can incentivize it somehow. And
bro, that's called meditation.
Yeah. The incentivization is through meditation. It's through really being on the pulse of human consciousness, mind you. Like that's the key distinction. Guys, and Chase, I believe you were just commenting on this. I gotta get this thought out before we lose track of that thought, right? My life in the last month or two, to me, is a testament of hyper Bitcoinization. I've been fucking busting tail for 33 years as of next month, and to no end, and never broken through. But as of the last month, people are showing up at the most perfect time. Santos Bonacci, the world's leading astrotheologist, went dark for the last year after I met him in Acapulco. I met him face to face, and I've been asking him, dude, will you write the foreword for my guidebook on ageofaquarius.org? And after a year, out of nowhere, I'm like, trust that intuition. I followed up again, just when I could have quit. And he got back. He said, hey, not interested in speaking at Acapulco, but I'll write the foreword. Right? That's one example, you guys. Here we are right now on this call. Tomorrow, the TCV Summit for Ordinals, NFTs, and on-chain economies. This is the most important confirmation, right? This is a costly signal that's happening. My life is a testament to that. Hyper Bitcoinization, it's happening right now. Like, it's incredible. We can't even fathom where Bitcoin is going to be. Forget the price, right? And I chart. I trust me, I'm a trader. I'm into it, right? But forget where price is now, where people are going to be, and their education, their awareness, their involvement in on-chain hyper Bitcoinization is going to be 6 months from now is unfathomable. So congratulations for being in the right place at the right time. Trust that if you keep showing up as you have today, as you are right now, that you are going to continue to be in the right place at the right time with the right group of people. And that's my thought.
Based. Super cool, bro. 100%. So Danny, I want to know what your thoughts are on this whole this on-chain world, man. You asked about Ordinals. You heard us talk. What are your thoughts now?
Well, we're doing something with Ordinals, but I can't really talk about it just yet. But let's just say it's a security redundancy. So
Boomer, bro, you got to cook out in the open. Are you guys open source?
Yeah. I mean, we're just.
Is it on chain?
Yes, we're just
Is
looking
it
at using
interoperable?
ordinals.
Wait. Is it interoperable? On-chain, open source, therefore it's
Yeah,
interoperable, right?
right.
Okay, so
It's just a redundancy that we're planning on using for ordinals, and
let me tell you something. The best thing you can do with any idea that is on-chain, open source, and interoperable is to cook with us, to cook with other Bitcoiners, with other crypto enthusiasts. Because you can spend, let me tell you something, Danny, you can spend a lot of time writing the code out, and then you're like, okay, here's the code. I put all this effort and time into it. Here it
yeah,
is, world. And then it's like the market says, no, bro, that's not it. Whereas
yeah.
the open source ethos starts at the inception of the idea.
Hmm.
You see what I'm saying? So if you don't have like a company, a boomer company with intellectual property and non-disclosure agreements, then you should, like, in my opinion, my advice would be to open up and share your idea with other Bitcoiners here, for example, and they
Yeah.
will give you the feedback you need, like straight up.
Well, I think once we get the base idea of exactly how it's going to work, we're going to do that and probably implement it on Dragon X first. And something else that I do want to do that's out there and available is BIP 300. I want to try to add that Dragon X as well, so that we can just do side chains right off of our main chain. So the concept I had was just to go ahead and bring Monero off of that centralized chain and put it on a side chain from using drive chains with off of Dragon X, so that with every basically we're merge mining and right off of Dragon X and producing Monero, and the people who already have Dragon X would receive the Monero, and then everyone else that mines after that would start receiving Monero, and they can start doing the NFTs or whatever they want to with it. It's
Dude, did you
just
say
a
manure?
No, yeah,
Monero.
yeah, Monero is Danny's embrace of the left side of the belt. There you go.
AKA
That's
it's
what
Danny's
Monero is.
shitcoin.
Yeah, it's
Yeah, it
it's
is.
the best shitcoin in the world. Can you explain to people what Monero is?
Yeah, Monero is a shit coin that you can do NFTs on or whatever. But the idea was just making fun of maximalism, whether it be Bitcoin maxis or Monero maxis. It's
That's hilarious.
it's
I
just
thought
a
you were
fucking
literally mispronouncing Monero as
no.
Monero.
It's manure. Oh, like manure zero, like no shit, zero shit. But yeah, so it was just to make fun of things. There was all these little different things like the instead of satoshis they're scats, and just all kinds of things. Whatever shit joke you could think of, we just applied it to that and started making memes, and people would make memes, and I would send them Monero coins for making shit memes.
Can I ask a question? Is that Monero on a different blockchain, or is that on the blockchain?
It is right now. It is on Aspire, which is a fork of Bitcoin that it was pre-mined. So it's kind of like Ethereum. You have to have Aspire for the gas to make the transactions, but you just go on Aspire and push a couple of buttons and boom, you spin up your own chain. And so that's what it is. It's like sub assets of the main chain.
Why don't you do it on the scam coin, on the scam blockchain? With Pictoshi over there, so it's kind of like bit on scam, yeah.
Well, I mean the idea. So I started Monero as a joke, and that took me on a journey of discovering what privacy coins really were. And at one point, someone says, "Well, you're complaining about making fun of shit coins, but you're making fun of Monero." And I'm like, "Yeah, you're kind of right." So I decided to make the privacy coin something more serious, and just some conversations that happened with different developers ended up creating the name Dragon X.
So why did you go back to Sirius after you were on the right path of onboarding the masses by embracing the left side of the curve?
Because I wanted to have a serious coin. When I seen what was out there, and then I realized that, well, why aren't there any zero knowledge coins that you can use random X with? Why can't I mine a zero knowledge coin with my CPU? So
I
That's
just
why.
want to say you guys are the fucking cowboys of the future.
Yeah, bro. Talking about cowboys, I'm gonna share Shuang's art. Look up at the nest. But keep talking, keep going.
Yeah. Yeah. So you know, I just wanted something that was easy to use that anybody can do. And like right now, you can just go and download our GUI wallet, and you go to the little button that says mining, and you press start, and fucking boom, you're mining. You can. I'm running 6 threads on my laptop, so I can make a few coins a day, whatever. Sometimes 20, 30 coins a day. Other guys are making several hundred. But yeah, it's
what's it worth
right now? I think a couple of cents.
Monero, the future.
No, the Dragon Eggs.
Dude, Dragon Egg sounds like you're a Lord of the not Lord of the Rings. Like you're a Game of Thrones fan or some shit like
Lord
that.
of the Kings.
A lot of it comes from around this ecosystem. A lot of the ideas are from Dune. Like the chain generator that we're creating will be called Arrakis, which is the planet from Dune. And that's just basically you go to the web page, you pick your parameters, you enter them into a box and press start, and you'll have a blockchain. Easy, without having to interface the GitHub or any of that. Just enter in what you want, enter in what kind of mining algorithm you want, whether it's RandomX, Equihash, or RamHash. That's what we have available so far. Just create your own chain. Pick your own block times or whatever your initial rate is.
I never understood that concept of creating an own chain. It's so much hassle. Why not just focus on the zero knowledge aspect of your coin, and you also want it to be a mineable computer? You can do that. I mean,
we're already doing that. We're already doing that. But we're giving other people, like, if you want to do that yourself, go. We're giving you a tool that you don't have to pay for. You just go push start, bam, make your own chain. And
I understand that. The thing is that the reasoning behind the blockchain and how all the moving parts work is a game theoretical rabbit hole that not everybody wants to go down to, and also relying on the chain to be alive when you want to deploy your coins is also kind of like, will this chain be alive in 10 years? Yes or no? That's why I say I have the ability. If I would want to create a coin,
the benefit that we see,
the
benefit that we see from this is, say a good developer wants to make his own chain and start adding new features to it. So they start their own chain from our tool, and then they start making cool features that we like. Then we can just integrate their work. The whole idea behind it is to build a bigger network of developers off of our tool.
But I'm kind of like locked into your tool and your chain.
No, it's your own chain. You're not on our each.
You're starting your own blockchain.
You're starting your own layer 1 chain. Each chain that comes from our chain generator does not rely on.
I understand that. I understand that. So again, then my question: everybody starts their own blockchain. Everybody starts their own internet. I mean, the layer 1 should be kind of like the thing that connects us all.
Right, but
so
you also want
to.
With privacy coins under attack, you also want to create a bigger attack surface, and that's what this like a mole. They can go after Monero. They can go after Zcash, but if 1,000 other privacy coins are popping up, they're gonna have to go after all of those too.
And most likely they will. They will just go after the on and off ramps. I mean, try to buy Monero in Korea, for example, right now.
I probably won't, but
yeah. So my question is, if layer 1 is something that connects us all, and on layer 1 we can produce provably zero knowledge proof currency, isn't that better?
Well, Hold on. What's this?
Oh, and by the way, that currency, that is zero knowledge proof, is also minted using proof of work.
Yes.
So you cannot just create it out of nothing. You have to put in proof of work into it. But layer one already exists.
Yeah. What? So
Sounds like a shitcoin generator.
exactly.
Yeah,
That's
that's
exactly.
definitely. Well, that's BRC20 in a nutshell. BRC20
Right.
in a nutshell
We've got
is
this.
a shitcoin generator. BSV20 in a nutshell is even more of a shitcoin generator. But OPNS, the Oppenheimer guy, he also wants to put in OP20. And in OP20, when you build a new currency, you actually have to put in proof of work for every single token that you mint.
That's exactly what you have to do with ours as well.
Yeah, but the crypto show is creating a new blockchain, and I'm saying I believe that we just need one to connect us all.
That's the whole point of like what's happening with this on-chain economy world is that everyone is converging around the best of blockchains. And by best, I mean not necessarily the best technology, but where there's the most attention, liquidity, and people.
Well, you're not going to have just one blockchain because blockchains are all politicized and tribal and all of this. And like, if you're going to try to force me onto a chain, like the Bitcoin maxis, right? You know, telling everybody there
How
can
many
only be
internets
one,
do we
the
have?
Highlander coin. Like, screw you. I mean, I love
How
Bitcoin
many?
for its value, but I'm not going to be told what chain I can be on.
You can use GopherNet, but the question is how many internets do you use? How many protocols of the internet do you use?
I don't know. I just get on it.
Yeah, exactly. You don't know,
Right.
you just get on it. Now, do you have a political stance against GopherNet versus PIP versus AOLNet? No, you don't give a fuck. You just get on it.
And do they politicize it? That's what that's
Well, in the 90s, there were a lot of salespeople trying to sell me. What was it called? Novel networks. There were a lot of people in the mom's basement trying to sell me GopherNet. Yes, apparently it was politicized before. In the 90s, there were a lot of people trying to hand me down CDs of me going on AOL.net. Nowadays, it would be stupid for me to go to any other network but the internet. I mean, unless I really have to. So from my perspective, we're going to have just one blockchain. And then on top of that one blockchain, that blockchain that we have, that one should be really good, where we can do all other stuff.
Yeah, I mean, I
Like,
think
for example, create a zero knowledge proof currency on top.
I think we're gonna have like blockchains. Yeah, I agree with both perspectives. I think it's a both and not an either or. Competition is important, and that's the thing is that like we're gonna have many blockchains competing for a long time. If you're not speaking, could you please mute your mic and only unmute it when you speak? Thank you. There you go. Nice. All right, yeah, guys. So I think that there's going to be many blockchains up until the point where one eventually outcompetes the rest, but we're very far away from that. Then again, it could happen overnight because that's exactly the point of what we're dealing with this convergence. This convergence of people and energies around the best of blockchains is what we call hyper-Bitcoinization. And it can happen on any blockchain. So I'll give you an example. The base protocol, the layer 2 for Ethereum, governed and controlled by Coinbase, no one knew they existed. They didn't even exist a year ago. And all of a sudden they are going completely viral because of just one application, right? Friends.tech, which I think it's a fun app. It caters to the left side of the bell curve, but it's not built with like sound right side of the curve privacy and protection for the individual. A bunch of people got doxxed with friend.tech because so you have to you have to embrace both the far right and the far left. And you have to be smart. What you have to avoid always is being the guy in the frustrated middle. You don't want to be that guy. And we all can fall into being that guy in the meme. You don't want to be that guy. So you have to ask yourself, in what ways am I frustrated in crypto or in anything that I'm doing in crypto or in any of my investments in crypto? And you will more than likely realize that it's because you're not embracing the left side or the right side of the bell curve correctly.
Yeah, seriously, man, that last TCV newsletter, like I am blowing smoke. Like they just keep getting better and better. Like Crypto Vigilante, in my estimation, is the best crypto financial newsletter. And I only think it's just the beginning for them. And they're founded upon Jeff Berwick's work as a dollar vigilante. So if there's anyone new here who doesn't know who Jeff Berwick is, like it's time to check him out, man. Like the founder of Acapulco, 10th anniversary coming up. But yeah, you're right, Raph. Like that last newsletter in the bell curve, it just really hit home for me because so much of what Burnt MD has said is just like, we've been programmed and like through just the stress of like trying to survive to like do things that are actually against natural law and very counterproductive to like the new Aquarian age of business, which really is about leading with service and value, genuinely, like from the heart, where it's not about money. And by law of reciprocity, like the Kabbalion, the Hermetic principles, etc. You get what you give, especially when you're not giving with expectation of return. So that the whole the bell curve idea there, it just blew my mind. And these newsletters just keep getting better and better. It truly is the pulse of crypto. And to me, it's like it's the portal to really mature your life as an investor. It's so important that we vote with our dollars. This fiat blood money that's days are numbered. Like that. This is our. Forget this election coming up. It shit don't even matter, man. Like the real vote that needs to be casted is with your dollars by understanding the technology that supports the Aquarian age, which is all about freedom, abundance, prosperity. And it's going to force us to look at our actions and our strategies that we think that may even have led to some success in the past. It's not going to work anymore. It's just not. So I encourage everyone, if you haven't yet, cryptovigilante.io/ordinals. This is the first step. Get on board with the summit. The live event is free. You just have to register with your name and email. This way we can follow up with the link. It'll be on Restream, outstanding platform. We got L. Dixon heading up the tech. And this guy's fresh out of Burning Man, so he's full of fire. He's full of fire. So this whole, token 2020, whatever, man. It's great to see all this stuff. But I'm telling you, man, this is the place to be. Tomorrow is the place to be.
You said two things that sparked me, triggered me in a good way. One of them was, when we're not doing things for money and talking about that in a good way. And then another one was vote with our dollar. And, from somebody where, like I said, I was hustling selling baseball cards on the beach from the time I was 5 years old to eventually working in the music industry later, and just, putting my music out there, but also in the music business, just doing a lot of things for money, to somebody who ended up helping a lot of people, patients with life-threatening ailments, with cannabis oil and never accepting a penny until years later, one of my patients practically begged me to start accepting money in an energy trade and to basically incentivize people to invest in themselves. And I think that, it's also important while we do things in service and, effectively volunteer our time in a good way, to also know our worth and to know our value. And, I have a friend, Kenny, that says, don't do anything money that you wouldn't do for free. And at the same time, there are things that we would do for ourselves happily, and that if somebody wanted to task us with it, that we would do for a fee. And I think that's okay too. And I think ultimately, when we do show up to plug in, that doesn't have, like, if we're only waiting to the points where we're getting paid to plug in, we're severely limiting our sphere of opportunity. And thanks for doing all the work that you guys are doing, to be worth for me to see value in plugging in and seeing you guys inspire me to a point where I'm like, okay, something's here. you know, and it takes pulling your own weight, and it takes illuminating yourself to be seen.
Oh, so beautiful, guys. Speaking of plugging, man, I have to plug this. I'm going to drop a link here in the comments in just a second. Acapulco's Bitcoin Beach, baby. This interview was just incredible with Danny and Bert MD and Raph. And of course, Raph is there wearing the ageofquarius.org official t-shirt. Shout out. But man, I was helping put this video out. And as I'm watching it, it just reaffirmed me like why I freaking love you guys so much. So I'm going to drop the link in a second, but just check it out. So much wisdom gleaned in this one.
Yay.
Hey, if anybody wants to check out the project that I'm doing down here that Danny's been supporting as well, there's a website fundraiser that I'm going to be we launched it kind of softly just through some of our network. Actually, we didn't launch it. Some people just wanted to really help donate. One of the people that came to our workshop at Acapulco put it out to 6,000 of their users, and they have a dating app. And so we got, I don't know, it was 100,000 users, and we raised like 6K. But as soon as this contract signs, God willing, this week, because they told me we're going to start week, then I'm going to put it back out again. But if you go to the website, Amor Labor, like love labor, AMOR, Amor is love in Spanish, AMORLABOR.org. You can check out what I'm doing down here. And it's a GoFundMe, so, you know, you won't be surprised by that now that I told you. And, of course, anybody can support there. And if anybody feels called to support in crypto, can accept that too. Just feel free to reach out and check out the project. We plan on educating not just the kids at the children's home, but the community at large, and building something that's going to be a great model for, God willing, inspiring others to take better care of ourselves and each other.
Right on, bro. It's on the Nest. Good vibes, bro. It's the latest post on the Nest.
Thank you.
GoFundMe. They take crypto. It's a good cause. Where the focus goes, the energy flows, baby. Woo! Let's get it. Let's get it.
And referring back to the Bitcoin Beach, we'd wanted to have something done by October, but we haven't really gotten enough participation from other people other than the guys that we met with, wanting to only promote their business. So this will be something that we do in conjunction with Acapulco and not a separate event. So I'll have to end up going down there beforehand at to bone fill and get more businesses on board. But the restaurant association or whatever hotel association, we've got them on board. But I don't think I think they're kind of greedy and they want to be the only ones that benefit from it. And they're not really doing their job to reach out to the rest of the community. So we're going to have to do that ourselves.
Danny, just so you know, Gabby's Spot Luncheria no longer is there. Every single stand where they were selling breakfast and stuff like that that wasn't an actual restaurant has been knocked down in all of Bonfil. And they're definitely, you know, I have a feeling that over the next 5 years or 10 years, this place is going to get gentrified pretty seriously.
Yeah.
But I don't think that you're wrong about not spreading that stuff wisely.
Right. Yeah.
And they don't have much of a reason to until Acapulco is back. So maybe there's that too.
So the other thing, kind of in conjunction with that I'm trying to do is bring the Tumen people back, but not just Juan to speak about Tumen, but also some of their merchants, at least one merchant from each region to come, and then also invite some of the locals to come and be Tumen merchants as well, and then piggyback off of what Monerotopia did in Mexico City, how they brought in all the local merchants, and a large amount of those merchants, they got to accept Monero. So if we can get the Tumen guys to accept Monero and Bitcoin or whatever, that'll be a plus as well. So that's something that I'm working on. If you don't know what Tumen is, it's a local Mexican currency that started around the same time as Bitcoin. And it's a paper currency that basically a big anarchist group of Mexicans created that is equal to the peso, and they've all agreed that it is worth that. And to enter into their economy, you have to agree to accept 10% in Tumen and 90% in pesos. So we created a blockchain for them that is a ZK blockchain, and that's going to be the digital Tumen. So once we've got them understanding digital Tumen, the next thing that you focus on is, okay, go ahead and take this, 10% of digital Tumen. Now let's replace the peso with Monero, with Bitcoin, with what pirate, whatever. So that's what I hope to accomplish with that.
Nice, bro. That's beautiful.
It really is beautiful, and it's also it's a serious situation over here because a lot of people here, as you can imagine, they live in fear. They live free, but they live in fear, and which might be why so many people here lined up for miles to get the vaccine. But recently, like there was a list, not to scare anybody away from here. I'm here. Everything's really cool here, but recently there was for years there was a list where you can get your herb or whatever you wanted, really, and it was basically known as the list. And who runs that list? It was known as the cartel runs it. Recently, couple months ago, the guy who ran that list, he got killed, and so that it's not the same here in that regard anymore. You can't just order anything off the list, and I think that especially since they're cleaning up the streets in those ways of not allowing people to vend the same way that they were used to, I think maybe one of the drawbacks for the people here, perhaps Danny and anybody else listening, is that you said like they want a piece of it. It's harder for them to tax anything if they can't really look at it, and especially with the Tumen thing. It sounds amazing, and I'd love to see the Warriors and Guerrero step up. This is the way Acapulco is. It's the state of Guerrero. Guerrero is warrior, and so it's really interesting to me to see that. But at the same time, it could cause a bunch of shit. And so I think the Monero creator wants to it might stir some shit up, and it's up to the people to take their power back. And it's cool that you're always into promoting that potential. And I just want you always, as I say, want you to be safe, and I'm sure you understand these things better than I do since you've been in Mexico.
I tried to share. I went to the little comment thing on the side and shared a link of that. But I recently went to that Tumen conference in Veracruz at the Pantla, and they had 150 different merchants gathered who were taking Tumen. And there was probably 500 people.
Yo, you're rugging. I can't hear Danny. Can anyone hear Danny? Okay, you're back. Can you repeat that, Danny? We didn't hear what you said.
So I recently, I think it was a month and a half ago, I went down to Veracruz to Papantla, where they had the conference for Tumen, and there was 150 different vendors accepting Tumen, and there was probably about 500 people at the event, all spending Tumen with the merchants. So it was an amazing event, and it's not just about the money. It's their tagline is Moneda de Solidaridad, which is solidarity and money. But they're into all types of things like anti-COVID, letting people know about the bullshit surrounding COVID. They put out anarchist newsletters every month that go out to everybody on the mailing list. It's an ecosystem. It's a community, and they're all very, very much focused on how to live outside of government. So like these are our fucking people. They don't use our money yet.
So you gotta pump it up. I've been hearing a lot about these crypto commandments. What?
Did you play the song?
No, not right now, bro. But I why would I? I have the artist right here.
No, when I signed on, I heard somebody saying something about the song, and then I heard you saying, "Oh, it's not working." So I didn't know if you actually tried to play it or what happened.
He was going to, and then you showed up, which is better than playing the recording.
Yeah, I think we need to hear these commandments, bro.
You want me to read them off to you?
Yeah,
bro.
Spit it.
All right, hold on. Let me get my shit straight. Hold up.
I think I know the first part. I think those. No.
What'd you say?
Danny just bombed
Yeah, I'm just
as a
kidding, man.
comedian.
Did you say the first part is yo?
No, it's.
I think you should clean your phone off. If it's anything like when I beatbox, I'm definitely spitting everywhere. All right, it's like this. It said, I've been in this game for years. So yeah, I heard somebody talk about Biggie Smalls, Notorious B.I.G. It's definitely the 10 Crack Commandments. And I was listening to that song, and I was like, wow, of course, the 10 Crypto Commandments. And so I just wrote it out and put it together, and then I made a little video, and went to the homie Egg D's house from the Freedom Movement and recorded the song. And so that's what you guys will see if you check out the video. And it's like this. I've been in this game for years. It made me a lot of dough. There's rules to this shit. I wrote me your manual, a step-by-step booklet for you to get your game on track, not your wig pushed back. Rule number uno, never let no one know how much doge you hold, because you know your wallet key, secrecy, privacy, especially IRS piracy, fucked up, shares stuck up. Number two, never let them know your next move. Don't you know all coins move in silence on side exchanges? I'm a rebel on the side of amaze, and I done squeeze juice from bricks and chips from rocks. Number three, never trust nobody. Your mom set that ass up properly gassed up. Now everyone's masked up, lazy for fast bucks. They be laying in the bushes to write your passcode. Number four, I know you heard this before. Never sell it all when it's high from your own supply. Number five, never sell no stacks where you rest at. I don't care if they want a gold ounce. Tell them bounce. Number six, damn credit, get it. You think Robin Hood's paying you back? Shit, forget it. Number seven, this rule is so underrated. Teach your family the business and keep them educated. Money and love don't mix like two bits with keys mixed. Find yourself seriously pissed. Number eight, never keep pics of your passcode on your phone. No, get hacked like an asshole. Nah, should have been number one to me. If you get in that bag, stay the fuck out the banks with trillions invested. Unless an EMP hit, or we all get arrested. 10, a strong word called sovereign. Strictly for live, man, with a VPN. If you got integrity, say let's go. Bet you gonna want your money, rain, sleet, hail, snow. Follow these rules, you have mad bread to break up. If not, you'll be like everyone else when you wake up. Few years you missed rich, fears kept you bitch. And waiting, now you hating cause it passed. Now one coin cost $1 million plus gas, and your girl left you for a fella who was good at math. Yeah, that's basically what it is.
That's what's up. Fire.
What's up? Oh, that's fucking fire, bro. Woo!
Thank you.
Super bass.
It says, gotta go, got crypto to hodl. But I guess, make all the money just hodling. You obviously got to get out when the time is right.
Yo, what was that verse? That like you were like you're scared and now you're seriously pissed. Oh, bro, that's so funny, bro. That was so funny, dude. And she left you for a dude that was good at math. Oh, bro, that's incredible.
It was seriously pissed. I don't know. Yeah, check out the video.
So I just got a DM from Danny from the Crypto Show. He said he's about to drop some lines as a debut as a rapper. Danny, you got to say go.
Yeah, right. I don't think so. Unless we're talking about at Walmart during Christmas.
You got all that heat. Unless we're talking about the COVID lines.
We're doing this. We're going to make this happen, guys. We're literally welcoming hyper Bitcoinization. That's really what we're doing here, guys. And tomorrow we kick off a formal conference summit for free for the world. We're going to go for like 15, 20 hours, bro. I keep getting DMs from different people that want to speak at the conference. Like, to be honest, you're welcome. Yes, come speak. Fuck it. I mean, I'm already going to be there for 20 hours hosting. Like, let's go. You know what I mean? So I hope everybody here makes it. Burn MD, you can come serenade us.
Thank you.
Danny, you're more than welcome to come. So Crypto Voyeur can tell you how much of a boomer your idea is, whatever. You know what I'm saying? Like, it's all love, man. We're here.
So if anybody's jumping on right now that has no idea about this conference or what it is, i.e. me, can you give a quick rundown of what's going on?
Bro,
I
so
know
people-
Matt said something about it before, but
So it's very simple, dude. People started actually using crypto. Oh my God. Like, how fucking crazy, right? Because people have been using crypto as an investment vehicle to trade. Dude, that's just fucking trading it as an investment vehicle. The truth is that Bitcoin crypto is something you can actually use. You know what I mean? Not just use to go buy coffee. You actually can build on it. And so people are converging. The brightest of minds have converged around the biggest and best of networks to start creating on-chain economies, native economies. And that's what this whole vibe is about, because now we're cooking together. We're finally cooked together, and I'm looking out after you, and you're looking out after me. You're giving me feedback, I'm you feedback in real time, so that we can serve one another. It's all about service, bro. It's about love, really. It really is love, bro. It's a magnetic pull. Bitcoin is like this network of love that is just bringing us closer together. And why is it a network of love? Because crypto and Bitcoin incentivizes freedom and makes tyranny very costly, ever more costly. So it's a spiral. It's an upward spiral of positivity where we bring out the best of each other, and we compound and leverage off one another's success. We just keep building each other up. So that's what this is about, right? Ordinals is a protocol that was launched as the beginning of this, that was the gateway that converged all of crypto's attention and energies into BTC. And now we see that other networks are popping up with the same mindset as to, like, how can we serve others best by allowing them to be creators, co-creators in these native economies on chain. So you want to hear like a mind blown? Check this out, dude. As a creator in the best of blockchains, it's going to be free. It already is possible on some. Free to post, free to create. So let's say you're broke, you have an amazing song, right? What you do is you go online, open up a Bitcoin wallet, and inscribe that song in your Bitcoin wallet for free. And then you can sell copies of your song through this new internet called Bitcoin. For Bitcoin. How fucking amazing is that? So, like, now there's no friction. It's permissionless. Anybody can use these blockchains, and it's incredible, dude, what we're seeing. And we're just at the beginning. This is literally the beginning of actually using these technologies. That's pretty much what this is about. So tomorrow we're having the first global virtual summit regarding on-chain economies and ordinals. We kick off at 11 a.m. Eastern time, and we're going to go all day. We might go all night. We're just going to go.
thank you for explaining. Very clear.
For sure, man. So
Yeah, I'm
it's a good
excited
time.
for these ordinals, man.
What's the number one thing that excites you about ordinals?
Just like you were saying, just being able to write and put like anything you want down and have it be on chain.
Yeah, many people thought that was like, oh, we've been able to do that on Ethereum. Nah, dude, not like this. Here it is on chain for real. And you don't need another blockchain. It's everybody is converging around the best of blockchains. That's the model. That's the idea. So that we can leverage off each other's success, so that we can it's like a vibe, you know, that a magnetic pull. Momentum. Think of momentum. When you play baseball, you make a run, guess what? More likely the guy after you is going to make another run. You score a touchdown, the next guy's going to score a touchdown. Touchdowns beget touchdowns, home runs beget home runs. So it's a spiral of positivity that has been unleashed through ordinals into the entire crypto space, where we're now all like, we're all looking out after each other. You guys were talking about capitalism and all that. Well, capitalism starts with empathy, service. What do you need? How can I help you? You know what I mean? That's literally the starting point of capitalism. Empathy. Serve you.
Yo, Ralph, I just got an email from Trezor, 302. Literally, their freaking headline image on this email says, "We are cooking up something exciting." I'm telling you, dude, that everyone is following the lead of Crypto Vigilante. Coinbase, with their on-chain summer. Who was here a year ago at Acapulco talking about that from the main stage? Right? That was you, Raph. And now these lizards are fucking taking your brilliance and hijacking it and misleading people. And I'm not saying Trezor is doing anything wrong here. They're actually probably one of the best hardware wallets you can get. In fact, don't ever use Ledger. Ever. They've been hacked and they suck. But yeah, I just wanted to point that out. If anyone else got that email, you know the real action that's getting cooked up is right here, right now.
But they can't help it. You see, like they have to use the rhetoric. It's the whole thing. Every psyop that has happened in crypto has been by them using libertarian rhetoric. Every single psyop. So we're wise about that now. We know what they're up to. We know that they use our language to confuse people. So for example, Coinbase saying we're having an on-chain summer, that is okay, great. On-chain, yeah, baby, but you're a centralized company and you're giving people a fake sense of security because they're like, well, Coinbase is a reputable company. It has investors. It has IPO'd. So therefore, their base blockchain should be something that I can trust. And so they even came out with Friend.tech, making people think as if Friend.tech was this like grassroots, initiative. No, dude, it was incubated with VC money. So it's the complete opposite as to what happened in Bitcoin with Ordinals, right? In Bitcoin with Ordinals, it was all grassroots. And the security comes from the miners. That's an industry that came out of a grassroots initiative that is decentralized. And not just decentralized, but it's a capitalist meritocracy where everyone's constantly competing with each other in how to serve one another best as they secure the network. So it's going to be, it's like, that's why it's important for us to come together and cook together. That's why it's so important to have Danny here. Danny, one of the freaking OGs, man, that like first fucking crypto show. He has to cook with us and he has to get feedback because he's an entrepreneur. He has to get feedback because he's cooking a lot of things in his mind. But Danny, you can't cook in isolation anymore, bro. You got to listen to Crypto Voyager. You know what's really funny? Crypto Voyager was standing right next to you at Monerotopia. You didn't know that. You guys were like, you guys never met, but I know you guys, and you guys were like chilling next to each other. You guys didn't even know you guys existed, right? But that's the thing. We got to come together, man. We got to stop building in these siloed networks. That's why the convergence, bro. The word is convergence, coming together, because the most badass design we have is the blockchain. And why is the blockchain badass? Because it's a mathematical topographical map that connects us in the most efficient, cost-effective, and secure way with one another so that we can serve each other. That's why the blockchain is so badass. Now, there's different blockchains, right? And you have to ask yourself, what are the differences between this blockchain and that blockchain? And that's when you start doing, you start analyzing, and that's what we call fundamental analysis, what these different blockchains are, and you'll realize that they all have different incentive structures, different governance models, and you have to keep, that's part of. I don't like giving people the answers at the Crypto Vigilante. I like to lead you for you to figure out your own conclusions, because I don't want you. We want you guys to like figure shit out on your own, because the worst thing you can do coming into crypto is to put yourself in a position of vulnerability where someone can manipulate you. You don't want to have to ask someone, hey man, what do I buy? What do I invest in? The best investment is on your education. So you can get to the point where you're like, you know exactly what you're going to buy because you understand it fully, when you're going to, and how you're going to buy it and how you're going to secure it, right? It's that straight up empowerment, right? That's really what matters here. So now we're empowering each other. We've moved on from empowering ourselves, and this on-chain world is about empowering each other, one another now. That's why we've moved from the initial stage of responsibility and understanding that we need to be personally responsible for crypto. And now we're moving to the realm of like, okay, now we feel safe. Now we're moving to creativity. That's why BurnMD is a pilot. That's why Schwank is a pilot. That's why Freenauts are pilot. That's why Matt Welsh, Beloved and BU are pilots. All these creatives, all these artists, they're the pilots of crypto now. So now what we have to do, they're the cooks. They're the main chefs, bro. I'm a sous chef, okay? If you're a developer, you're a sous chef, all right? You listen to what these creatives tell you attentively, and you figure out what you need to get into their head and figure out what the fuck is it that these creatives, that these artists imagine for us in the future, because they have that pineal gland, that third eye completely fucking developed more than any of us that got that shit like, taken from us, going through government indoctrination. So you got to put artists at the front of the line, and you got to revolve around them now in crypto. We got to circle around them. Whatever the artist needs, you got to obviously give them feedback, right? Because we need to bounce ideas off one another, but we need to come together and we need to figure this out. Figure out how to best serve one another, man.
That's beautiful, Raph.
That's well. It's all.
Sorry.
No, I'm done. What's up?
I think we're gonna do it tomorrow, man. I think we're gonna figure a lot out tomorrow.
Yeah,
with the
I just want
TCV
to say
summit.
that.
I mean, we've
Oh, sorry.
see the way this works is the way creation manifestation works is that the universe will always provide the most ready students at the most opportune time to get done what the will of God, essentially. Right? There's free choice, which we all have. That's our gift, right? But then there's the will of God, which is essentially unity consciousness, and we're all going in the same direction, which is evolution, growth, expansion, and ultimately unconditional love, the highest vibration frequency of any living being, human or not. So, like, God, that was just a long-winded rabbit hole. I think tomorrow we're going to figure out a lot of stuff because the people that the Great Spirit has coordinated to see your message, Raph, to have that in front of them, and then for them to be so ready in their hearts and minds that they leaped at it. They said, "Yes, I'm in. I will speak. I will share what I'm working on." This group of 15 speakers tomorrow. These are the people that are going to figure out the next step for hyper Bitcoinization. I'm absolutely sure of it. So once again,
actually, it's everybody here as well, dude. It's not.
No, it is. But you're
like,
talking about us figuring this out. We're all figuring this out now for sure. But I'm telling you, like, something is going to happen tomorrow where it's just going to click, and it's going to completely change the next step of where this is all going within the next day, 30 days, 6 months, years. You know, and we're just going to keep building upon that. But it's very special here. Hey, who's here now and who will be there tomorrow? Everyone's here at the right place, right time. That's all I'm trying to say.
Yeah, dude. Look, so we have the best technology, and we have a market. We have a world now where we have immediate feedback from the market, and we can connect with each other instantaneously. We can share ideas instantaneously, and we're gonna kick off. This is kicking off us at the Crypto Vigilante, literally starting to cook with you guys. Even if it means every day, we're gonna cook every day if we have to, because it's time to we need to hit the gas, bro. Like, this is it, man. This is the moment. Everything that you could possibly think of is possible with the guest Satoshi gave us. So the only thing holding us back is the fact that we're not coordinated, that we're not coordinating with each other. So now we have the best of technologies, the blockchain itself, that gives us that security. It's the best. It's the fastest, cheapest, most interoperable way to cooperate with one another. And so now all that is left is for us to, like, have some MCs. And yeah, bro, let's cook. That's it. We just got to cook. Let's go.
Well, if
I'm very excited, bro.
Cook like Chef Burn MD, you can go to 7easysteps.org and learn how to make cannabis oil in 7 easy steps.
7easysteps.org. Love it.
Yeah, it's not necessarily for smoking. It's more for like internal use to relieve various ailments. And if anybody wants to know why cannabis has the ability to work, it's because every human, every animal with a vertebrate, even spiders, have something called an endocannabinoid, and I recommend checking it out to learn more about yourself.
Bro, can you speak up a little more into the mic, please?
Yeah, but I think we heard what you said, but just moving forward, it seemed like you were, like, off in the distance. Oh shit! I guess that was his closing statement. He left.
Oh man, well I went to that website. It just brings you to YouTube on how to make cannabis oil in 7 easy steps.
Beautiful, beautiful. It's a beautiful thing.
Hey, can I ask you guys a question? I am going to be launching a crowdfund, just like Burnt MD, for my friend who, was mandated to take the jab to keep her $250,000 a year job. Immediately got absolutely wrecked. So I think at this point we all have one person. We have that one confirmation of, hey, this could have been a bioweapon. Maybe. All right, I'm just gonna leave it there. Right. I have that person in my life, and I'm catering the new song and music to tell her story as she takes this terrible experience that has brought her to 19% heart rate, myocarditis, the whole deal, and turn it into something beautiful with a stand-up paddleboarding business that she's launching in October in conjunction with this. So anyway, to do this launch, we want to crowdfund like the pre-sale of like the paddleboard kits, because we have to get prototypes made, manufacturers find all that, but this is the first step. So what is the most recommended platform that you guys would suggest that we use, whether it's Web 2 or Web 3, to crowdfund this key for her to launch her business? Is it GoFundMe? Is it Kickstarter? Is it Indiegogo? I mean, I just heard nothing but horror stories from all of these companies, and they take a pretty sick cut of the
It
proceeds.
should be Bitcoin itself. It should be Bitcoin itself. That's the answer.
Bitcoin itself, I don't mean, do I have time? Because this is coming out October 12th. We're talking like not even 30 days.
Bro, you can like just describe an NFT series and sell. And I mean, so okay, so are you renting? You're renting. People get to rent the longboards. Is that what the deal is?
No, it's saltysirensup.com. SUP means paddleboarding. So she's taking her a siren. If you saw Wednesday, it's Siren's like the mermaid, the water creature. So it's like mermaid theme. She's gonna have her own logo and brand. She wants to basically find the best tools and source them together to create like really killer deals, like for people to just like buy a package and get on the water ASAP. And then she'll eventually start leading tours around Central Florida, where she continues to tell her story, educate. But believe it or not, she called me. We were both in tears because this Facebook group she's part of, or Fedbook group rather, for paddleboarders like meeting up and stuff, like basically came out and said, we're not going to invite these two other people because they're overweight and they're not like these sexy yoga chicks, and they weren't invited. And she called me crying and said, Matt, this is the shit we're dealing with like in this community. And I was like, Jay, that's why you're here. You're here to tell your story so that people don't get duped on the next psyop as it's already happening. And you're here to embrace one that wants to get out in nature and get in the sun and get in the water and just like get strong and fit, paddleboarding, get out there, So long-winded response, but that's essentially her business, what she's doing: storytelling, education, and providing the paddleboards, custom with her brand on it. So yeah, we just need like the best way to raise money without getting middleman, interference.
Venmo, and Cash App.
Venmo and Cash App. Right, but it's got to be on one landing page where the music video is that tells her story, and also the interview. I'm gonna do a one-on-one interview with her where she tells her story. So I could use Venmo and Cash App, but I'd have to link that to a landing page. I'm loving these ideas, guys. Thank you. Please welcome any more ideas.
People can donate on YouTube. Pretty sure.
Yeah, if you're like got 1,000 followers or something.
GoFundMe, you can put a video and you can have people donate right there.
Oh, okay, yeah, that's probably likely.
Yeah, GoFundMe. Is there some caveat to them? Because I've done a few of those, and I mean they take a percentage.
No, they don't. They take very little, actually. There might have been a time where they took more. And I have a charity, so it's a 501c3.
Well, this could be a maybe like an
that,
on-chain solution that you need, and it's a new idea. Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, we just build it tomorrow at the summit. Call Cambrian SV. Where's Jack? Where's Jack? We got business to handle. Dude, I mean, that's brilliant. Now it's not really obviously we don't want to, people taking cuts.
Honestly, it should be doable in just one day. I mean, the tools are out there.
Yeah, actually it should be. Talk about leading by example, man. Sheesh. The biggest thing though with GoFundMe is that I think they had some weird shit where they took down people's campaigns or like, with the truckers in Canada, something of that nature, where if it wasn't of the narrative, they shut you down and they took your money. And that's what I'm afraid of, because the message of this is, I think it's gonna be one of the greatest stories to come out and actually rise through the noise.
That's a fair point.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like it's the content that I'm concerned about. Like it needs to be decentralized. It can't be shut down.
Well,
Yeah,
So
I'm
I think
definitely all for DeFi, 100% for everything. Like I think maybe some sort of DeFi donation voucher or something.
The thing about taking payment processing on something so public is how to keep it safe. You know, who's going to use something that you might put your
Like
number.
maybe ordinal that just says you have my support
Yeah, but the
and have,
unfortunate
you know,
go on.
any sort of like,
Okay,
maybe like
the
they comment on your video and it's like that's ordinal. I don't know.
okay, well, the unfortunate reality, as Danny highlighted, is that Venmo, PayPal, that stuff is normie friendly, right? So I'm trying to fucking knock this out of the park. Like I'm not trying to slow down. Like the worst thing you can do in business is like make it harder for people to give you money, you know, whatever kind of money that is. So if someone has to download a Bitcoin wallet, don't even know what the hell a Bitcoin is, it ain't gonna happen, guys. Like I mean, we can definitely put this out in our community, you know, but I don't have a following, you know. There's a drummer from Dashboard's going to be in the video, but I can't count on that, dude. So I kind of need like a solution or something that's a hybrid of the Web 2, Web 3 world within 30 days. Shit, I wish I could build it on ageofaquarius.org. I've been trying to do that forever. And as you'll see on the summit tomorrow, I'm really going to explain why kind of the role of that platform within blockchain technology, because the context is key, dude. The whole reason that people sold their bitcoins for, the guys that bought all that pizza for 10,000 Bitcoin, the whole reason people didn't see it, the reason that I was a fanboy of Magic the Gathering trading cards and still didn't see it with Mt. Gox back in the day is because context. People did not have the context to realize that central banking is a scam and that government is really mind control. It's an illusion. It doesn't actually exist outside of the order followers that perpetuate that evil. Okay, so the context is key, right? We're here in support of blockchain technology and excitement of it because we're in the Aquarian age, an air age based on technology that's going to transform the world into a new world order, right? Again, the language, it gets perverted. A new world order is necessary. It's because everything's fucked up. Everything is inverted. It's all evil. It's all Piscean. It's all just outdated. It doesn't work. It's obsolete. Corporatism, the list goes on. If you're here, you get that, you know? So it's like we need to embrace a new world order with sound technologies, sound leadership, the kind of leadership that is fully human but able to interact with non-human benevolent beings. Because what's really happening is that non-human or not fully human malevolent interdimensional beings have hijacked certain people like Bill Gates, and they're basically taking all of the good stuff that the gatekeepers of this realm, be it the Freemasons, so to speak, or whoever they are, right? They're taking the good stuff and they've perverted it and they've inverted it using mirroring to psyop human population and siphon their energy. That's what's happening. They're siphoning people's attention. They're creating attention on the masses that is basically diverting them from the truth that as of 2012, as the Mayans predicted, right, December 21st, winter solstice, we officially entered the transitory period into the air age of Aquarius. And for the next 160 years, it can either be hell on earth fighting this reality and evolving, or it could be peace, abundance, prosperity faster than we can even say the word hyper-Bitcoinization. But it's all founded upon the context that we are in this Aquarian age and that millionaires don't study astrology, billionaires do, right? One example, the FTX crash, was on a blood moon solar eclipse. Guys, Jeff, TCV, and me in my own analysis predicted that crash almost to the day. And it's because astrology, right? The whole drama between CZ and Scam Bankman-Fried, like that was all orchestrated in some capacity, whether it was intuitively guided by the creator or maybe it was kind of like planned. But either way, they made sure that the markets had every reason to crash. And so we had capitulation, or did we? Could that be coming? The true capitulation, right? What the world really needs. I had this conversation with Captain Teeves, who's a warrior for Pirate Chain. Warrior. This guy is brilliant. And we were talking for like hours on end, man. And he's like, man, I just want to fucking bring justice. Like the world needs this justice. I'm like, really? You're right. all the evil, heinous crimes of the Epsteins of the world that have committed, what are we going to do? Just let them go? Or are we just going to throw them in a jail cell and just continue to feed them, give them shelter, show them mercy? Or are we going to fucking bring them hell, right? And to bring justice to all of the people, all of the victims of human trafficking, all the blood sacrifice, everything, the deception, right? That they have caused, the pain, right? We have to bring justice. And what the world needs more than anything else, and I challenge you to embrace this, is capitulation beyond the likes of what we saw during the COVID crash on March 12th of 2020 that I saw with my own eyes in front of the charts. Terrified. It was crickets. I knew better, dude. I backed up the truck when I saw Bitcoin hit 38K. You know what? Fear and greed, emotions, the energy emotion that drove me that day was a combination of fear and greed I'll never forget, that I have learned from. And I finally forgiven myself, because the lesson I learned, I'll never make that mistake again, dude. All right, I was waiting for somebody else. I was waiting for Raph. TCV had just started. I'm like, Raph, where you guys at? You know, I'm like, this is before we were even friends and working together. I'm like, dude, somebody tell me, like, this is the time to buy Bitcoin. Give me a target. Crickets, right? And I didn't trust myself. And even though I had the most money I had ever gotten in my life, weeks before, loaded on the exchange, ready to buy Ethereum at $7, ready to buy Bitcoin at $3,800, ready to buy Monero at $40. I fucked up, dude. And I got greedy. And I was scared, dude. And I said, this fucking fool's talking about, Bitcoin going to $1,000. It's called a hyperwave. That guy ended up dying because of how much torture he caused so many investors like me to think that Bitcoin was going to go to $1,000 in that moment. It might someday. I don't think it will. But he was wrong, dude. And he's gone because of it. I truly believe that's a karmic hell to pay for being so goddamn wrong. So, man, long-winded story, dude. Capitulation is coming. I got a downside target, $6,666 BTC. And it's the best thing that can happen for humanity. It's the best thing, because everyone in this room right now knows where the future is going. They know that this technology is designed to transform the world into the Aquarian New World Order that supports human freedom. And we're here for it. And the best thing we could happen is all the preparation that we've done to this point, all the capital that we've been saving, growing, desperately trying to earn, to scrape together, that we're ready to butt dip if and when it comes. And may God have mercy on the souls of everyone that is affected, because when the tide goes out, we will see who is swimming naked. And I pray that, my God, dude, I pray that they finally fucking wake up when they lose everything, when the housing market collapses, flash crash overnight, when the stock market goes down 40, 50, 60%, right? When Bitcoin finally capitulates because people don't understand it. The weak hands still don't get it, but the market makers and the whales do. And they got their sights set on $6,000 BTC. BlackRock and the ETF, you think that's a coincidence, the timing of that? I don't think so, man. I don't think so. Right? That hasn't gone through yet, because guess who's there ready to help them buy that dip? Coinbase. Brian Armstrong and his squad of AIM contributors. You're right. They're ready to fill up their bags, man. All right, so I don't know who's really playing for what side, but I'll tell you what. I got some strong allies like Lutz, Raph, Danny in here, Burnt ND, Free Nuts, right? We got some allies here that can spot. We can spot a Fed. We can spot a fake, right? We can spot weakness, and I ain't here for it, dude. I ain't here for it. All right, I don't got time for it. None of us have time for it. I wouldn't be spending hours talking to you guys if this wasn't where I absolutely needed to be, for free, right? For free, because that's what we're here to do. In the name of everyone we love that's struggled past in this transition. It's hard, man. It hurts, but if you're still alive, you've got work to do. I've got work to do, and again, I thank you for being here, hearing me ramble and go on. You got to be there tomorrow, man. You got to, because I can't speak for anyone else other than maybe Jack Lou, because he's a genius, and Raph, he's the thought leader. He's my thought leader forever and always in this space.
No,
But
dude, I'm not your thought leader, bro. No. You're your own leader. I don't do the thinking for you. No, if I'm wrong, call me out. Like, shit. I don't want to be in error. That's like retarded, bro. Fuck
but you
that.
haven't been, dude.
No. The one thing I hate most in life, yes, men. We don't need that shit.
We don't need that shit. Damn right, dude. But yeah, what I'm bringing tomorrow for my 1 hour talk, I'm telling you, it will provide the context that I brought it to Anarchapulco, but I only got 20 minutes last year, and I didn't even finish what I had to say. I got an hour tomorrow, and I'm going to bring all the heat. I'm bringing all of the context that everyone needs to understand what this means to live in the Aquarian Age, how to thrive in the Aquarian Age, how to master the fires of spirit, the earth science of the body, the air science of the mind, the water science of passion, and the ethereal science of purpose. And with this context, in conjunction with mastering the markets, understanding that central banking is a scam, a crime against humanity, understanding that every government and major centralized corporation has colluded in crimes against humanity, right? You're going to understand real estate, economics, Austrian economics. You're going to understand the indices, so much more. All of it is a package deal, right? That's what I offer in the Aquarian Artist Alliance. That's what I'm bringing to the table. Finally, my service to humanity has come to fruition. I understand why I'm here and what I'm supposed to do. And it's beyond ushering in the Aquarian Age and just saying, hey, you know, I already did it, man. Right? Like February 2nd, 2022, 2022. We won't see that date again for another 200 years. I busted my ass with my team. I spent every dollar I had locking in the Walt Disney Amphitheater in downtown Lake Eola. And not even 200 people showed up when I declared the air age of Aquarius. Pathetic. Pathetic, dude.
Well, you have way more listeners listening to this recording, so it's only proper that you close this space out with a song. Bring out the guitar. Be love and be you. Let's go.
Oh, man. All right, fine. I ain't gonna fight it this time.
Yeah.
All right. All right,
I mean, we already had Burn MD perform twice. You got to do it at least once, bro. Come on.
Oh, he's good, man. He's better than me. Like, here's the thing. I'm not a singer, dude.
Like, yeah, you are. What you talking about? No. Grab the guitar and do your thing, bro. Come on, let's go.
All right, man. I am a drummer, though. It's true. It's true. So I got these drums. Yeah. All right. I don't know if it's attuned. I don't know if I have time to tune it. Give me a second. I'm taking off odds.
While he does that, I do have a question for you. And thank you so much for letting me speak today. I love your content, man. So this is like crazy for me. And I follow Acapulco and everything, and I've been buying all the replays. I just want to know, what does interoperable? I don't know if I said that right. Mean to you, Raphael?
It means that when you build open source, and well, if you added the on-chain component, but when you build open source, like any tool that you build can be used by someone else. That's what it means. And that is when you build that way, one application can easily merge into another application. So if you have a wallet that is interoperable and you have a whole ecosystem that is interoperable, then it means that all the games, you can add any game to your wallet, any website. Heck, every wallet could be a website. Every inscription could be a website. So that's what I mean by interoperable. That's what we mean. It all can work together. It's now you just have the tooling where you can just plug and play and just like building Legos, you know, let your imagination fly. Let's go, Matt. It's out, baby. Woo!
Yeah, it's funny you asked that question because at Cambrian SV, a year ago from today, just about, that was kind of what Luke brought to the table, like with frustration, man. And I felt it. I was like, dude, he's like, everyone's trying to build all this shit in their own siloed communities or by themselves. And it's not working. Yeah, it's not working, man.
Yeah, we're not cool with walled gardens. We don't like walled gardens.
Yes, walled gardens. That's the term, man. Coin the term.
Well,
yeah,
I was just thinking,
not the way.
Like, is something like PeerTube or Odyssey is like peer-to-peer, and I know like Spotify pays artists based on their streams. I just don't see how there can't be like a site where people can share their artistry like Spotify and get some sort of revenue from like in on chain. You know what I mean? Like, and everything's on the
It
chain.
exists, bro.
So
It exists. It exists.
okay, put me
We
on.
can talk
please.
about it forever, dude. Yeah, many exist, but the thing is that the question is, why don't you know about it? And the answer is that whoever cooked up those applications messed up somewhere. Otherwise, you would know about it, and I wouldn't have to tell you, right?
Okay,
So
right.
that's why we're going to talk about all of that during the conference tomorrow.
Sweet, thank you.
You're welcome.
Yeah, I'll definitely. I have it. I already put it in my reminders. That's why I joined today so early. I was like, oh, there's no way. I thought it was happening in like 2 days, but it was just a space. So
yeah, these are just pre-games. We're pre-gaming
right.
for the conference tomorrow.
Yeah.
All right,
yeah,
Matt,
exactly.
take it over.
All right. Let's close this out, guys. This is a new song that's coming out. My 33rd birthday, October 12th, next month. And it's called 33.
Chase, can you turn off the mic?
Is that loud enough?
No, if Chase can turn off his mic.
Oh, okay. Yeah. That was a good little sound check anyway.
Good,
All right.
good.
It says my mic is off. Is it? Can you like remove me as a speaker? Because I did mute it.
Good
Okay,
deal.
cool.
I was thinking, I was saying, I was wishing, I was praying, I was hoping, I was searching for something to believe in. This is how I am until my story ends. Like it or leave it, no need to pretend. I can't get this out of my head. These problems must be put to rest. I'm here for the solutions. Until then, why can't I be angry? Whoa, wait to see the things that I've seen. Whoa, it's only temporary. Whoa, and it sure is feeling sorry. Whoa, can't see what I see. Stronger together, divided we fall. Humble and thankful, don't need to know it all. We are the people and you are my tribe. We're walking through the fire till the end of time. I can't get this out of my head. These problems must be put to rest. I'm here for solutions. Until then, why can't I be angry? Whoa, we've seen the things that I've seen. Whoa, it's only temporary. Whoa, and it sure makes feeling sorry. Whoa, gonna make it so beautiful. Gonna make it beautiful. Gonna make it beautiful. Whoa, whoa, gonna make it beautiful. Whoa, whoa, gonna make it beautiful. Oh, can you see what I see?
Woo! All right, guys. Signing out. See you tonight at the
Tonight,
pregame.
10 p.m. Eastern.
10 p.m. Eastern. We're gonna be cooking.
Say it, Raph. You know the 3 words. What are they?
Peace, love, anarchy. Bye.